All right, and we are live. Okay, so Bills versus Dolphins, Thursday night football. More than likely going to be a blowout, which I'm happy for. I've got James Cook, and I hope he does really well. But anyway, it's going to be underway. Like I said, obviously 2-0 versus 0-2. Dolphins have been struggling. Obviously, week one was train wreck, and they actually looked decent against the Patriots. So hopefully, they might be looking a little bit better. So return to the 10, 15, 20, up to about the 25, and cuts back, oh my gosh, 30, 35, 40, 45, down to midfield, and that is going to be where it's Eskridge with the return up to the 50-yard line, first down 10 for the Dolphins. So it's starting out pretty good. Look at there, good field position. Let's see if that continues. Oh my gosh, 10 star versus the Bills, 2-0 1-8 so far. That's not good. All right, so first down and 10 from the 50-yard, well, about a 50-yard line. The 48-yard line. Tua going to send, looks like Malik Washington into motion. Going to be a play action pass. Is going to dump it off to him, and he's going to got about 5 yards on the play because it was about like the 47, 48-yard line, so it's going to be about 5 yards on the play. So it'll be second down and 5. 14-30 left to go in the first quarter. Like I said, great field position after that long return. Hopefully Dolphins get something out of this. I just want it to be a good game, but I feel like it's going to be a Bills blowout. But the Bills are down 2 defense starters. That does definitely help the Dolphins' case. Tua going to be handoff to A-Chain. He's going to try the right side and gets he gets about a yard. So it'll be third down and 4 for the Dolphins at about the 41-yard line. Yeah, they're showing it right now. Like Ed Oliver, he's inactive today, and then also Mike Milano is also out there showing that right now. So obviously, the Bills' defense starters got to be able to step up. So I'm assuming we're going to see a little bit more of who they draft? Dang it! Who did the Bills draft? I gotta think of it in a second. Sorry. Tua in shotgun formation with HN to his left. Brings tight end in motion up to the left. Drops back a pass. Looks to the right side. And that's going to be caught. And that's going to be Tyreek Hill with a first down grab right at the line to gain. So 4-yard gain by Tyreek Hill. That's going to be a first down for the Bills. Was it TJ Sanders? No, he went to the... Oh, goodness gracious. Who did the Bills draft? I can't believe I just forgot who the Bills drafted. Yeah, it was TJ Sanders second round. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so I was right. All right. So it is a first down from the 36.5-yard line. Tua, pistol formation, drops back a pass, fakes a screen, and then throws out to A-Chan, who's got a blocker in front, up to the 30, up to the 25, up to about the 20. I think about the 21-yard line is when they spot him. Yep, 21-yard line. So great first down catch and run by Devon A-Chan. And it's a first down 10 right approaching the red zone. I do like that play design, though. It does help that the Bills didn't blitz on that one. So, first down 10 at the 21-yard line. Tua in a shotgun formation. Going to have, looks like, is that Ollie Gordon? Yes, it is. Ollie Gordon with the run, but so they spot him probably 2 or 3 yards there. And that is Sanders with the tech. So just talking about the rookie getting the tackle. It'll be second down about 8 for the Dolphins. All right, so Tua under center with no, it's actually number 31. Ooh, that's not Ollie Gordon, or it might be Ollie Gordon. I don't know. Going to be a handoff. Oh, actually, no, it's going to be a screen pass to Malik Washington, who started steps 15-10 down to the 8-yard line. And again, Malik Washington having a pretty good day so far. Had that nice little 5-yard catch. Oh, there's a flag. Probably legal man downfield, if I guess. If I had to guess, legal man downfield. Yep, an eligible man downfield. So who could have seen that? Let me see here. Who am I thinking of? That is Smith. Who am I thinking of? My life, my life. How far downfield? Yep. Both he and the center were downfield a good little bit. Our second down 12 from the 23-yard line. Tua going to bring the tight end into motion. Going to be handoff to Achan, who's going to try the right side. He's got to right corner, and he's going to get so close to the first down, but they're going to mark him down. It's going to be third down and about 2. A little less than 2, but almost there. Let's see. Gordon, yeah, he's 31, so I thought. I like Gordon's 31. All right. So third down and a long one. 10:55 remaining second in the first quarter. Still 0-0. Tua going to be, looks like under center. No, sorry. He's going to be pistol formation. Going to be a handoff, and that's going to be a first down by Ollie Gordon, who gets down to the 4-yard line. So first and goal for the Dolphins, and they are having a great first drive. Let's see if they can cap it off with a score. I mean, like I said, they had the really great return, so they had really good field position. But, I mean, they've actually been able to move the ball a little bit. Obviously, it helps not having Williams. That was a terrible attempt to tackle. Williams, who was he, second year, third year, out of Tulane. That was a terrible tackle. So, from the 4-yard line, Tua going to be under center. Going to retire into motion over to the left. Going to be a handoff and absolutely lose about 2 yards there. Great penetration. Is that Shaq Thompson? Yes, it is. Shaq Thompson with the tackle, who's replacing Matt Milano, Carolina Panther legend. So they're going to sub out and get in a little bit more of a spread out package. Now they're back at the 6-yard line. Still second and goal, though. 9:35 remaining in the first quarter. We got Washington and also Tyreek Hill out there. So 2 very fast, speedy guys. 2 are going to be an empty set with HN off to the left a little bit. Drops back a pass, fakes the screen, and tries to avoid the pressure. He's going to check it down, and guess what? That is going to be Washington, who runs over defender than before he got absolutely clapped by Rapp. Goodness gracious. I don't know who he ran over, but he got absolutely clapped by Rapp. Let's see here. Oh, no, it was Rapp that he hit. Okay, so he ran over Rapp, and then Bernard's the one that went over. Sorry, 8 and 9, I got confused on that one. So third and goal. It's 8:44 left to go in first. Dolphins are like right down there. They're at the 2-yard line. 2 under center. Tie into motion. Going to be a handoff, and that's going to be Ollie Gordon, who rushes in for the touchdown. And guess what? The Dolphins have scored first. So, Ollie Gordon with a touchdown, and even though it was only 47 yards, it was 10 plays, 47 yards, almost took 6.5 minutes. I mean, that's why you got him, though. I mean, you didn't have a power back beforehand, and now you do. So 6-0, extra point gonna make it 7-0. Kick it up and kicking good. So it's gonna be 7-0, 8:31 left to go in the first quarter. Dolphins score first. Yeah, so like I said, they have technically Julian Hill's the one who's getting a lot of the tight end snaps. Better blocker anyways. But you have your really good, well, not really good. They're still young, but the left side, Patrick Paul and Jonas Savanaia, both of them look pretty good so far. Like I said, obviously, you don't have to deal with what is this commercial? Ed Hutchinson just dancing around. Anyways, Obviously, don't have to deal with Ed Oliver, but at the same time, he did a pretty good job. It's only 47 yards, but there's a little hope. Like, yes, it's a very young left side, but if they continue to develop, then I think you like how things could potentially happen for the offensive line because, like I said, you got Aaron Burr. You were able to get from. Ooh, was he from the Titans? I want to say it was from the Titans. And then you have, like I said, Simon Aia, who is in his second year, or not second year, his first year. Patrick Paul is in his second year, replacing Teron Armstead. So it's interesting to see because I like both of them coming out. Patrick Paul, he was more of a developmental tackle, and so now he's starting it this year. Simon Aia was he is a huge dude that had really great feet, but a lot of times he would get like over leveraged. So like like obviously like a little bit too far off of his feet. So a lot of times like if you had really skilled run stuffers or pass rushers, like they could use that to his advantage. So hopefully over time he kind of develops a little bit more playing underneath your feet. But let's see here. I don't think they have anything else. It is interesting seeing KJ Britt though on the Dolphins. I will say that. Still haven't gotten used to it. Obviously, I said I'm an Auburn fan, so I like KJ Britt. I'm glad he's no longer on the Buccaneers because I'm also a Panthers fan. But yeah, it's good. All right, so kickoff underway. 8:31 remaining in the first quarter, still 7-0. And let's see if the Bills can respond. We return to the end zone up to the 10, up to the 15, up to the 20, 25, 30, and yep, back to the 30-yard line is where the Bills are going to start. So Josh Allen trots on for the first time after his broken nose. I was like, how many rushing touchdowns does Cam have? 75. Okay. So the Bills, the Bills, yes. But Josh Allen, probably within about 2 years, could probably pass Cam Newton's record. They caught on the wrong guy. Oh, well, so after that penalty, we can back him up a little bit more. Unnecessary roughness. So from the 15-yard line, first down 10. James Cook to the right of Josh Allen. I need James Cook to have a good day. Draws back a pass, looks to his left, throws to his left. Now it's going to be, try to be a one-handed catch. But it's going to be a flag either way. That was going to Keon Coleman. Coverage there by, who is number 23 for the Dolphins? Dolphins secondary, I'm still trying to figure out. There's a lot of new players, new starters. Is that Jack Jones? Jack Jones is on the Dolphins? Goodness gracious. Oh no, he's literally just like he has his hand right here just grabbing the whole entire time. So yeah, pretty obvious penalty there. So that was a weird cut to replay. So like I said, it's gonna be first down 10 for the Buffalo Bills from the 35-yard line. Josh Allen shotgun formation with James Cook to his left, trips to the right. Draws back a pass. Looks to his left and checks it down to James Cook, who's going to get up to the 40, and that's going to be about a 5-yard gain. Second down and 5. Like I said, I really want James to have a good day, fantasy purposes. So hopefully it'll be a close enough game, but they're going to want to run the ball a little bit. So far, he's not disappointed me this year, so I'm happy. All right, so Second down 5. Josh Allen going to be under center with James Cook in the backfield. Looks like we got 2 tight ends to the left. Going to be a handoff, and he's going to try to cut back to the left. 45, 50, up to the 45, and down about the 44-yard line. That is James Cook with a great run. First down for the Bills. 7:30 left to go in the first quarter. Right off of that's a great split too. I like the split that Dawson Knox had with Deion Dawkins. Basically, almost like just even telling you where their hole is going to go. But James Cook cuts back, and like I say, he's got some speed. Almost broke away, but good job at number 29 there from stopping that from being a long run. First down 10 about the 45-yard line. Josh Allen under center. Going to be another handoff to James Cook. He's going to go up to the 40, up to the 35, and just follow his blockers for a first down. That's Spencer Brown leading the way. That's going to be a first down 10, about a 12-yard gain by James Cook. What's up, Manuel? I hope you're having a good one. Why does the NFL have a hard-on for the Bills or Dolphins on Thursday Night Football early in the season? I have no idea. They've done it twice, which isn't a lot, but probably too much for these teams. I mean, like, usually you have, like, the Dolphins, like, you've had the Bills and the Dolphins early in the season, but a lot of times it's been, like, at the Dolphins, and it's been, like, those, like, super-duper hot games. So I'm glad it's not that, though. There'll be another handoff to James Cook. He's going to try the right side, go up to the 30, and that's about it. It's fine. So about a 3-yard gain for James Cook. Will be a second down and 7 for the Bills. Yeah, I don't know why having Thursday Night Football. Honestly, they have the Dolphins like all the time early in the season. Like they had it for the unfortunately the 2 injury game against the Bengals. Obviously, we just talked about it with the Bills. I don't know why. I don't know why they did. I hope HN can have a good game because he's the only Bill or Dolphin I own in fantasy. Well, let's hope that HN and Cook does. I got Cook. So second down 7 for the 30-yard line. Josh Allen going to send Palmer into motion, bring him back a little bit inside. Drops back a pass. Going to actually throw it to Kincaid, who's going to get the first down to the 20-yard line. As once again, another first down for the Bills. 5:30 remaining in the first quarter. Dolphins are up 7-0. But the Bills are driving, and it looks like they're bringing in a heavy package with Dawson Knox and who's that? Oh, Haas. That's right. Haas is number 85. I keep on forgetting who their third tight end is. All right, so from the 21-yard line, first down 10, Josh Allen under center, strong to the right. Looks like Tyler Johnson's in the backfield. Going to be a toss out to him, and he's going to get basically a yard. It'll be second down and 9. They were kind of edged that way. Kenneth Grant, the rookie for the Dolphins, with the tackle. Like I said, I really like his development. Speaking of the Dolphins, if McDaniels gets fired, which more than likely will happen, my pick for the Dolphins is Jesse Minter. Jesse Minter, who is the defensive coordinator for the Chargers, that is my pick to replace him. I don't know if it'll happen, but I'm calling it now. So second down and 9 for the 20-yard line. Josh Allen empty set, drops back a pass, and fakes the screen, throws, and that's going to be caught, and that's going to be a touchdown for Kincaid. Great job by staying on top, and guess what? That is going to be a tie game. 4:04 left to go in the first quarter. 7-6, but an extra point going to make it a tie ball game. 0-2, that's right. Please don't go perfectly horizontal into defenders. Yeah, no, like that was the Bills 2 years ago, right? When he the back of his head just went right into somebody's knee. Because you used your freebie concussions about 3 concussions ago. Yeah, like it's gotten to a point where you're just really concerned about Tua's health. Like later on after his career is done. Kick is up and kick is good, so it is 7-7. 4:04 left to go in the first quarter, and we're going to go to commercial break. So both these teams, the Dolphins had a 10-play drive, but it was only 47 yards. But the Bills had a pretty long drive, started at their own 15. Obviously, were aided by the pass interference call, but like I said, still long, sustained drive. IDK defense coaches from the Chargers don't seem to work out too well. Well, It depends on which one you're talking about. Are you talking about Brandon Staley? Obviously, no. But speaking from a Carolina Panthers fan, Ron Rivera was the defensive coordinator for the Chargers before he became the head coach for the Panthers. So I will say that it's there are like recently, uh, no, it has not worked. But like I said, well, Brandon Staley, he was more so he was the head coach. He was the L.A. Rams defense coordinator. So, but I'm like I said, I like Jesse Minter as far as like being with the X and O's of defense. Obviously, like any kind of head coach, you're kind of concerned about if he's actually going to, uh, how is he going to interact as far as being a head coach, and like when it comes time to, um, rally the troops, that kind of stuff. So like that kind of stuff, I don't know, but from whatever everything that I've been told, everything like as far as like from Michigan all the way to now, like Jesse Minter is that kind of guy. And when you have a talent like Kenneth Grant, where Jesse Minter knows how to use him, because Jesse Minter just 2 years ago was there at Michigan, like I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it. But that is one of the things that I've talked with Luke about too, where he was wondering, our defensive head coach is actually being phased out of the game now, because like you're not really even looking at it right now. Like the ones that we do have like are kind of a little bit on the hot seat because either they haven't been able to fulfill where you have a really talented team like a Sean McDermott, or you have like well, can they even get past the wild card? Get past the divisional round, like say D'Amico Ryans. So I I don't think that the NFL will ever give up on defensive coaches, but I do think that it's starting to get to a trend. Starting to get to a trend where it's very much like we want to get the hot new offensive head coach, and so I don't disagree with it because, like I said, the NFL is anything but we like go on trends. But I am a little bit concerned that you swing one way too far, and then it's almost like really hard for you to get back to like at least being in the middle. So not a great kick up to the 10 to 15, 20, up to the 25-30, down about the 33-yard line, and that is where Washington got stopped. So first down 10, and I believe there's a flag. Don't know if the flag is on yet. Might be a hold or might be a unnecessary roughness. Also wanted to say, someone in my league offered me Njoku, Kenneth Walker, and Scattaboo for Kyle Pitts and Brock Bowers. I may have started offering Devontae Smith for Kenneth Walker straight up. Hold a second. So, Njoku, decent. Kenneth Walker, with a much improved offensive line, that's fine. And Cam Scattaboo, I just don't believe in Dallas's run defense. For Kyle Pitts and Brock Bowers, that's what I'm saying. Like that's taking away both your tight ends for one tight end who is also getting a lot of like the carry his opportunities taken away because of Harold Fanning Jr. So I don't know about that. So from the 15-yard line, going to be throw. That's going to be out of the outstretched arms of Washington. This will be second down 10. So it was a penalty on the Dolphins. Sorry about that. So it was a penalty on the Dolphins. Back them up to the 15-yard line. Second down 10. 3:54 remaining in the first. Still 7-7. See, the Devontae Smith for Kenneth Walker makes sense. Because obviously, Kenneth Walker is, obviously not upper echelon. Devontae Smith, obviously you're hoping that, the Eagles offense kind of clicks eventually, but it has not been that so far. Going to be a handoff to Devon Achane, who's going to wiggle his way for about, depends on the spot, maybe 4 or 5 yards. Third down and about 5 for the Dolphins. I probably still wouldn't take the trade for Devontae Smith versus to Kenneth Walker, but I could see where someone could be like, oh, this could work out later on in the year. But right now, all right, so third down and 5, 3:25 left to go in the first quarter. Let's go, Buffalo. So from the 20-yard line, looks like going to bring some pressure. 2 in a shotgun formation. Oh, he fumbles. Oh, my goodness. He picks it up, and he is short of the first down marker for about 2-yard gain. It looked like he just slipped out of his hands, if I'm being honest. Is that what happened? It looked like it literally just slipped out of his hands. So, snap. No, show us the actual. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, it's just slipped out of his hands. He went like this, and then it just bobbled. So punt is away. It's going to be it's a pretty good punt. Goodness gracious. Turn by the 23 up to the 30 up to goodness. It wasn't as big of a hit I thought it was. Up to about the 30, about 36-yard line is where the Bills are going to start off. Tied 7-7 against the Dolphins. I'm out on Smith. I really want to trade him straight up because I believe in my wide receivers when healthy, but they ain't looking too healthy. Quentin Johnston was at least a nice waiver pickup. That's true. Everyone in my league tried to go after Quentin Johnston. I was smarter because I knew that I was never going to get him, and I got Harold Flounder Jr., and I'm very happy about that because right now my tight ends are Jonnu Smith. I got him with my last pick because I got Aaron Rodgers later on as well, but I have him on my bench because I know like every now and then I'll have to put him in for like when my quarterback goes on bye. And then I got Colson Loveland, which hasn't quite worked out just quite yet, but it's fine. Like I said, I'm starting Jonnu Smith, and then because both of them are on the same as like bye, and I forgot, I was like, crap, I need to give me another tight end. So that's the reason why in after week 1, I got Harold Flounder Jr. and replaced him. Replaced Ray Davis with him. So I got Ray Davis just in case. I was like, I don't want to. I got him after week 1 because I was like, I want to make sure that James Cook is actually going to be used a lot, and he has. So that has worked out well for me. I've gotten James Cook in back-to-back drafts. Same thing for Chuba Hubbard, and they have worked out for me so far. Now, part of the reason why Chuba had a pretty good game last week was because he just got a lot of dump-offs. So a lot of catches for, 5, 10 yards pop. So definitely helped out. I can maybe flip him for a decent bench running back, but people are just saying biting on him. Yeah, you're really going to have to hope that Devontae Smith has a good game. And then you can kind of like sell that as like, see, the offense is coming around. Even though it's probably not. But you could definitely try to make that happen. All right, so about to be back. Goodness gracious. So Bills will start off the ball at about the 36-ish yard line. Let's see where they put it. All right, so from the 37-yard line, Josh Allen, shotgun formation. Going to bring Dawes into motion. Going to be a handoff. James Cook is going to be up to about the 46-yard line. So going to be a 1 yard short. 2nd down and 1. 2:10 left to go in the first. Dang, I already feel it. At the end of the first quarter, I got to go to the bathroom. I already feel it. All right, so approaching 2 minutes left to go in the first. 7-7. James Cook so far having a pretty decent day. I mean, he's getting like close to like 8 or 9 yards a pop, so it's working well for me. So Josh Allen under center, going to have looks like Johnson in the backfield. Going to be a handoff. That's going to be to, I can't tell. I think it's kind of fuzzy. It's 18. Okay, for a second I was like, that's not Khalil Shakir. I couldn't tell who it was. So 18 with the carry. Asking me a first down for the Bills. Yeah, like I said, my for some reason my TV went a little bit fuzzy, and I was like, that's not a 10 because it's not tall enough to be Shakir. But I do love me some Khalil Shakir from Boise State. Had a pretty decent career so far. So we have a lot of tight ends right now. We have play action pass, and we throw across the middle, and that's going to be a completion up to about the 31-yard line, and that is Dalton Kincaid. So about 11-yard gain there. 1 minute left to go in the first. What's up, Dobie? I did it. I started a fifth Hennessy team, and I got Malik Neighbors my first pick. Michael Pace my final pick. The neighbors saw my peanuts. Very nice. Let's go, Dobie. It finally came true. It finally came true. All right, 40 seconds remain in the first quarter. Still 7-7. Going to be under center. Going to bring Josh Palmer into motion over to the left. Going to be a toss out to right for the Johnsons. Going to be 30 up to about the 27-yard line. 25 seconds remain in the first. And looks like they're just going to take a sweet precious time. So I have got to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to set this right here for a second. Take a quick little break. Yeah, in the first quarter. Coming just right back when the game just started. All right. So 2nd down 6. Josh Allen going to hand off to James Cook, who is going to get, with great push by his offensive line, is going to get about another additional 2 more yards. So it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Bills. Sorry for that brief delay. They're showing Josh Allen's throwing mechanics. All right. Sorry, like I said, sorry about that. I can't believe I got to draft Javonte Williams in his career breakout season. Yes, I'm on it because if he can be even average running back, he's majorly improving my running back room. That's true. And like I said, I don't know why I just didn't feel confident with him. Dallas, even though I could like Dallas's offensive line, but I was kind of surprised by that. So we hand off James Cook, who's going to get the first down, and down at the 18-yard line for a first down. Torrance is kind of coming a little bit limp. Okay, let's look. He's fine. Okay, good. So Cyrus Torrance was coming a little bit limp, but I was kind of concerned. Florida, and his third year? I think so. Isn't that right, Dobie? I mean, you're a Florida fan. Isn't Osiris Torrance in his third year? I remember liking him coming out. He was, I believe, he was my number two guard that year. Because I'm trying to think if it was who is the first round guard that I think I like better than Osiris. I can't think of the top of my head. All right, so shotgun formation, first down 10 for the 18-yard line. Josh Allen's got James Cook to his right, drops back to pass, has got some kind of pressure, throws for the end zone, and it's going to be, try to get once again Dalton Kincaid for his second touchdown, but great coverage there by number 21 for the Dolphins. It's going to be second down and 10 from the 18. Dobie, congrats on the team. Glad someone finally saw your Phoenix. Just got home. How did Miami score a score? Okay, well, they didn't. They had a really good return up to about the 47-yard line. Like the Bills' 47-yard line. And then they proceeded to have a 10-play, 47-yard drive that took up almost like 6.5 minutes. So a decent drive, which took up a lot of minutes, but and they were actually able to physically run the ball. They have pass to Shakir, who's going to break some tackles, get down to the 10-yard line to make it about a third and 1, like third and 1.5. But yeah, so far, Dolphins had a decent drive at least, and then kind of stalled out in the second drive, and then the Bills just have continued to be able to dominate. And I'm hoping for a James Cook touchdown. But so far, it is still close. So I formation, Josh Allen under center, James Cook in the backfield, third down 2, 12:48 remaining in the second quarter, still 7-7. Going to be a quick throw, and that's going to be a first down, and that's going to be to Keon Coleman down to the 5-yard line. First and goal from the 5. Fourth year, really? Dadgum. Then he's going to get paid soon because he was a second-round pick. Like I said, Torrance was absolute behemoth too because he was like he was like 340, I think, coming out of college. Like absolutely road grader. I had some concern about his pass blocking, but I was like absolutely physically dominant. So, Josh Allen under center, going to have to call a timeout, unfortunately, because they were at about 5 seconds left to go on the play clock. So, at 12 even, 2 minutes at the second quarter, they'll be first and go from the 5, and they have to call a timeout. So, not bad. Like I said, you definitely want to keep that. You definitely, obviously, want to keep the timeout. But if you're at the 5-yard line, I think it's perfectly fine taking it then. Let's see. What is Bill's cap space looking like? Because, like, I would be surprised if they let him go. Let's see here. Show me the money. I know they have no cap space now, but what are they for next year? Well, I'm looking at that. First to goal from the 5-yard line, Josh Allen under center. Going to have James Cook in the backfield. Just hand James Cook. Overloaded on the left. And going to be a play action pass. Josh Allen rolls it to his left, looks for the end zone, is going to just toss it, and that's going to be a touchdown to Haas. So, 2 touchdown drives, both by tight ends, and Haas, the receiving of this one. Which I think that's his first. Is that his first touchdown? I think it is. So that's a 10-play, 63-yard touchdown drive. 5:30 taken off the clock. Ooh. So looks like I have to do some cap space maneuvering to try to be able to afford Osiris Torrance. Let's see. Uh, Matt Prater on for the extra point to make it a 14-7 game, and it is good. So 14-7, 11:54 remaining in the second quarter. Osiris Torrance. I don't know why I put the R before the Y. Osiris Torrance. He's the same exact age I am. Yep, 346 is what I thought. Oh, wait, no, he was in the 2023 draft class, so this is his third year. Let's freaking go. So they got him for a whole another year. Like I said, I like Osiris Torrance. He, like I said, you have McGovern, who more than likely, I don't know if they're going to bring back McGovern. Because if I'm the Bills, McGovern is approaching age like 30, 31. He's a left guard. So you might have to try to find your replacement. And that's the thing is you might have to find your replacement. You got Deion Dawkins, who's an amazing left tackle. You've got a really good center. So like I think you could put a developing guard in their next year to kind of help solidify. You already have a really good offensive line. So I finally posted my fantasy teams on my community page, just the starters. Okay, nice. It said like all your fantasy teams. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've got like all I've really got is YouTube. I don't have any other social media stuff. It's so good. I made some sweet tea earlier today. Nothing better. I did put. I will say about my sweet tea. I did put a little more sugar than I normally do, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. A little bit hopped up. That's really good. I would say I probably put, because I usually just estimate it. Probably like half a cup more sugar than I normally do. I feel like wired right now, which is good. Wait, so why are we talking about Yale and William and Mary? I don't know why, but we're talking about Yale and William and Mary. Oh, because the head coaches. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I forgot Sean McDermott with William and Mary. I knew that Mike Tomlin had, but I forgot Sean McDermott also went to William and Mary. And hold on a second, didn't Joe Brady go to William and Mary? Hold on a second. Am I making that up? I'm pretty sure Joe Brady also went to William and Mary. Make sure I'm correct. Return about the 5-yard line, 10, 15, 20, up to the 25, and he slips down at about the 27-yard line. Yes, looky there. Oh, my goodness. So he was at William Mary in 2013. Also, when you look it up, which is it's devastating to look at, Joe Brady previously served as the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers from 2020 to 2021. Yes, he sure enough did when we had Matt Rule as head coach. So, from the 26-yard line, Tua under center, with Ollie Gordon in the backfield. Going to bring Tyreek Hill in the motion over to the left. Going to be a play action pass, and Tua's going to roll it to his left, throw on the run, and that's going to be incomplete, almost picked off by, looks like, Bernard. So it'll be second down 10, 11:42 remaining in the second quarter. Still 14-7. Dobie, are all your teams getting your full attention, or some of them set it and forget it? Ooh. See, that's why I'm glad I only have two teams, because it's very easy for me to kind of remember. But I know that some of my friends in some of the leagues that I've been in, they just like totally forget. Second down 10 from the 26-yard line. Tua with two tight ends to his right. On the offensive line. Draws a pass and is going to dump it off to, looks like Achan, who got absolutely just devastated by Bernard. That's the second time Bernard has ran him over. So only 2 yard gain. We third down and 8. This would be nice. They're talking about, like, they did it earlier in the day. This would be nice if the Bills somehow won a Super Bowl, um, especially this is the last year they're going to be in that stadium. Like, imagine hosting an AFC Championship game in that stadium, and that's the final game you have in that stadium, and you win it. Oh gosh, Tua trying to avoid the pressure, rolls out to his left. He's going to throw on the run once again, and that's going to be incomplete. Great coverage there, and that's going to be oh shoot, Johnson. That's our Taron Johnston with the coverage there, number 7. So 3 and out for the Dolphins. Like I said, after that first drive, it has not been the best. Is that my boy Solomon with the pressure? Yes, it is. Let's freaking go. Javon Solomon from Troy entering his second year. So proud of him. And the kick is away. Almost got blocked. Going to be fair caught at about the 27-ish yard line. But he almost got blocked. And we're going to commercial break. So 10:44 left to go in the second quarter. Still 14-7. And the Bills have a chance of pulling a little. Like I said, it's still early in the game. But if we had a guess, probably could be a blowout. But we don't know. We don't know. We never know. We thought about that. We thought about that the first Sunday night football game. We thought that the first Monday night football game. What's the other one that had I think it was the only two that had like a big comeback that we actually watched together. Because obviously there's Carolina Panthers ones. That was nice. We're rocking the Carolina Panther Cup. I'm hoping I can stream the Panthers versus Falcons game. I'm hoping I can do that. Because if it comes down to Stream East, then unfortunately I can't stream it because like Stream East is way too far behind the game. So hopefully that's not the case. Y'all, someone just traded Joe Flacco. Here's the thing: Spencer Rattler has actually played. Oh, I almost say decent. Has played good enough for the Saints earlier on in the year that you're hoping that when you get him, that like at the end of the day, this is a team that kind of knows where they are. They have a very bad roster, so there's a lot of moving pieces. Like a lot of people are just thinking that the Saints are going to take a quarterback. And as the season continues to go on, I'm not so sure of that. And so, like, if Spencer Rattler continues on his path of where, getting a lot more into Kellen Moore's scheme, I think that can actually work out for if you're doing the Spencer Rattler deal. Joe Flacco, at the end of the day, let's just say that you're the Browns and you look absolutely horrible. Well, then, if it looks absolutely horrible, then Stefanski probably is going to feel some of the pressure to be like, oh, I got to play my rookie to see if I have anything. So it could actually work out better if you're getting Spencer Rattler in that case. And then let's see here. Lions D for Broncos D is a little bit confusing too. That one kind of surprises me. That's more of like a someone's very concerned that the Broncos D is not as good as it actually is. From the 27-yard line, Josh Allen under center, with Tyron Johnson in the backfield. Goodness gracious. Just going to check it down to Shakir, who's going to go up. Goodness gracious. Get it up to the 32-yard line. So great gain there, about 5 yards. As we second down and 5. My brain. Okay. So it's in the 20-man league. That does make a little more sense then. Because like I said, it's just a lot of iffy. The Calvin Austin also is better than getting the Kendrick Bourne because Calvin Austin at least has gotten a pretty decent role in much about like the Steelers' offense. But So actually going to be second down to 4. Josh Allen under center, going to be a toss to James Cook, who's going to try the left side, who's going to get the first down up to the 40, up to the 45, 50, 45, and a game-saving tackle. But James Cook, have yourself a day. So far, he is definitely over the 50-yard mark. It's not even at the end of the first half. That is Phillips with the tackle. 7 carries for 74 yards. Let's freaking go. Just give him a touchdown. That's what I would like. Give James Cook a touchdown. Or, you know what? No, let's just see how much rushing yards you could get. I think 300 would be nice. Yeah, I think you can get 300. I'm just kidding. So under center from the 41-yard line, overloaded to the right. Going to be a play action pass, and it looks like he's going to try to take a deep shot, but instead he's going to flip it. That's going to be incomplete. Try to get it to Ray Davis, and that is going to be 25 on the coverage. So second down and 10, 9:09 left to go in the second quarter. But yeah, I don't know that. If I'm gonna be honest, I think the second guy got the better end of the deal. Because I still think the Lions' defense is good enough. But the Spencer Rattler makes a little more sense if you're looking at like later on and hoping that Spencer Rattler continues to develop. So from the 41-yard line, Josh Allen, empty set, draws back a pass, throws, it'll be Keon Coleman with a little screen action, and he's going to get so close to the first down marker. It'll be third down and 1 for the Bills. 9 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Still 14-7. Oh, they're almost like 11 passes for 10 rushes. Like I said, I wish we didn't get rid of Joe Brady. I have a lot of regrets as a Carolina Panthers fan, but that is one of them for sure. So third down and 2. Going to be a drop back pass. Throw it out to number 14. He's got a little bit of leg up to the 20, up to about the 15-yard line. And that is, 14 is, shoot. Who is it? Shavers? Shavers. Who is Shavers? I feel so dumb now. Why am I forgetting who Shavers is? If I don't know the person, then I'll be like, oh. But I don't know why. I feel like I should know who Shavers is. Shavers. Who are you, Shavers? Number 14, Shavers. He is... Because, his face looks familiar. Tyrell Shavers. Number 33 kind of came up a little bit limp for the Dolphins, so he's on the sideline right now. Oh, he's the old guy. That's right. 26 years old, not old. But, as a rookie, or was he a rookie? Wait, do I know Shavers? I feel like I do. Because he was San Diego State. I might not even know Terrell Shavers, but he looks familiar. Anyways, so we're going to commercial break because number 33 was hurt. So. But, I'm talking about drafting. Trading. I rarely do trade because I usually try to feel very confident with my picks. Now, if someone gets injured, then yeah. But I didn't really have any injuries last year. Fingers crossed I don't have that happen this year. But I try not to because usually, the first year that I did it, as soon as I traded somebody, they started doing well. And so I was like, no. I should just stick with my guns because I feel confident enough in my prediction. So that's why I usually don't trade. I'm watching a Downey Cam Jordan commercial. I honestly, like I said, I don't hate Cameron Jordan. I do find him mildly annoying though. Uh, I don't know. It just to me, he just seems like one of those like professional instigators. Where I'm just like, meh, no, don't really care for it. Because to me, it's not entertaining. It's just trying to be an instigator to be an instigator. So from the 16-yard line, Josh Allen going to be in shotgun formation with James Cook to his right, who's just eager to score a touchdown here. Drops back to pass and going to check it down to James Cook, who's going to make, well, not really make him a miss, but get about 2 yards there on the catch. So second down 8 for the Bills. It would be so awesome. Not, oh my goodness, not enough. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that because it's just it's injury. But that's back-to-back plays. The Dolphins player got injured. Um, so, and it looks like a secondary player is already there's already a lot of injuries in the secondary. So that's number 23. At least he's up. He's walking. That is Jones. So did he? Let's see. Ooh, yeah, no, he got absolutely trucked by. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Never mind. He got absolutely trucked by Kincaid there. So Bonner on don't know who you are, number 27, but we do have a white corner. All right, so from the 14-yard line, Josh Allen under center, James Cook in the backfield. Going to be a handoff James Cook who's going, make a man miss and get back to the line of scrimmage. Great job there. Almost got a little bit lost for tackle by Phillips, but great contact balance and gets back to the line of scrimmage. And unfortunately, number 33, goodness gracious, Marshall. No, Marshall. That last L looked like an I. I'm so sorry. That last L looked like an I. So I was like, Marshall going back to the locker room. So third down and 8, shotgun formation. Josh Allen draws back to pass and is going to try to avoid the pressure and is going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And now is going to bring on the field goal unit, and that's Bradley Chubb with the sack. 6:40 remaining in the second quarter. See, that wouldn't have happened if you just had James Cook in there. All right, so Matt Prater on for a 39-yard field goal attempt. I mean, it should be right down the middle. Snap, hold, kick is up, and kick it. Oh my gosh. Shank. I mean, it's just. So a missed field goal. 6:03 remaining second quarter. 14-7. See, this is why I shouldn't say stuff that I say. Because I was like, oh well, it's like right down the middle. It should be fine, and then just right there to the left. Not even like a slowly but surely. It was just like a at the jump to the left. Take it back now, y'all. So it'll be first down 10 for the Dolphins, only down by 7 instead of down by 10. Showing a Wingstop commercial. Which I'll say this: I had not had Wingstop in I'm talking longer than 15 years. And I had it about, let's see, I was helping out my dad about 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago. 2 months ago. Pretty stinking good. Because I don't know why. I never went to the Wingstop that was in Auburn. I don't even know why I never went to it. But pretty good. So first down 10 from the 29-yard line. Tua drops back a pass. And it's going to actually do a little screen pass. Well, a little delayed screen pass. to Devon Achane, who gets about 2 yards before the whistle is blown. So second down and 8 for the Dolphins. Doom, 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 doom. I was about to mix the themes together. So, Tua going to be in shotgun formation with Achane to his right. Going to be hand off to Achane off to the left side. He's got a little bit of room. Going to get up to the 25. Oh, no, sorry, 35-yard line. And a little bit more. It's going to be third down and about 1. 1 or 2 yards for the Dolphins. 5:05 let's go in the second quarter. 14-7. This is 2-0 versus 0-2. John Parker Romo wouldn't have missed that kick. Younghoe Koo would have, though. You know, I feel like you're pretty right there, Emmanuel. But let's just say, Emmanuel, you're tempting fate. You're believing too much in a kicker. And as an Atlanta fan, you should know, never, ever believe in a kicker. That left tackle was way too far back, but they're not calling it. But Ollie Gordon with the power through, and he gets about 5 yards there. It'll be first down. Did he just do a – oh, my gosh, he did 6-7. Ollie Gordon, who is older than me, did a 6-7 celebration for the first down. My kids do it all the time. 6-7. I just I'm sorry. I'm tired of seeing it. So, Tua under center. First down 10. 4:05 to go in the second quarter. Achane in the backfield from about the 42-yard line. That's going to be a handoff to Achane, who is going to get up to about the 46-yard line. So nice gain there, about 4 yards. Let me second down and 6. But yeah, like Emmanuel, I want to give it another week before I feel super confident in John Parker Romo. Let's not forget that this upcoming week is the Panthers versus Falcons game. And if you know anything about that game, you know that it's always kind of crazy, especially the last couple of years. There's always been some crazy finishes. So could be good, could be bad, depending on the team. So going to be a fake toss, and then just throw it back to him. Oh my gosh! Is that Shaq Thompson? Let's freaking go, Shaq Thompson! Love to see it as a former Panther. So they faked the toss, and then the blocker did not account for Shaq Thompson absolutely just sidestepping him and just laid the wood on Devon Achane. So look, right here, you're slow playing it. You're slow playing it way too much, though. Ingles slow played it way too much and then basically just let Achane to be absolutely demolished. So from the 40-yard line, third down and 12, Tua in shotgun formation, drops back a pass, gets some pressure. Oh, great job by Tua avoiding the pressure. Throws across his body, and a great catch to the 41-yard line for a first down. That's Tyreek Hill. Okay. A little bit across his body, but great job by Tyreek Hill, and he actually got involved. It's still crazy to me that with how good the Dolphins' offensive pieces are, they are so bad respectively. That defense, especially the secondary, is a bunch of Madden-generated players, especially at this point because a lot of them are injured. But, you know, I would be surprised if the Dolphins are not bad if they don't go corner or at least safety with their first pick. Caleb Downs? All right, so from the 41-yard line, was there a timeout called? That was 2-minute warning. Okay. 2-minute warning. I was like, why in the world did they stop? But 2-minute warning, still 14-7. Dolphins are at least driving. At least there's that. But yeah, no, if I'm the Dolphins, let's see. Okay. I feel, like I said, I would feel comfortable enough with my offensive line that I could probably wait till like the second or third round to go into your offensive line. Because I do think they still need to help out on that, like, that right side. Because I feel like, if you're the Dolphins, you feel confident enough, like, okay, left side is young. They're still growing. You brought in that free agent with Aaron Brewer, so you have like center to left pretty much taken care of. It's more so the right side, and You could go tackle in the second round. So there's a chance you could go tackle. Obviously, too, his contract is so bad. Like you're, I mean, I don't want to say you're stuck with Tua because that's mean like he's bad, which I don't think he's bad. I'm just don't think he's going to be elevating you enough. Um, yeah, I'd probably go secondary. Probably go secondary the first pick. Depending on where they're picking, they could take Caleb Downs, or who's a corner they could take. I don't mind this cornerback class, but I'm not super duper impressed with it just yet. For what I've watched so far, which is only 3 weeks, so there still could be a lot of room to grow. I'm trying to think. I don't know. If Romo is even average, then he will be better than Koo. Okay. That's all I have to believe in. Remembering Clutch Koo makes me sad because he was the third worst starting kicker last year with multiple starts. Yeah, the coup fall off is a little bit depressing. Even though, like I said, uh, my first Panthers versus Falcons game that I went to, um, coup was that was the coup game where basically he Eddie Pinheiro missed the extra point. He missed the extra point on the other side of the field from where I was, and then Koo kicked the game winner on my side. Or no. Eddie missed the game winner on my side of the field. That was a crazy game to begin with. That was the PJ Walker throws the Hail Mary to DJ Moore, and then DJ Moore takes off his helmet. Um, that was only what was that 4 years ago? I can't remember. Did he get there too early? I guess not. So it'll be second down 10 for the Dolphins. Tre'Davious White with the coverage. Yeah, Koo's fall off is kind of crazy. I saw the Bears are interested in Koo, but I care about a dome kicker in Chicago. Yeah, yeah, because like I said, I don't know if you want to have. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're a kicker in a dome, you feel pretty confident because you don't have to worry about the wind or anything like that. Um, though you don't get the added element of sometimes the wind helping you out too. Second down 10, going to be a Tua scramble. What in the world are you doing? Okay, just going to throw it away. All right, so third down 10. He almost made a dumb decision, but at least threw it away. Third down 10, 148 remaining in the second quarter. Yeah, okay. And also, I mean, Koo's got a leg, so he's definitely got the distance that, Santos doesn't have. Um, I mean, honestly, the Bears don't really have that much of options if we really think about it. You already took Dahlman and Jarrett. What's one more Chicago Falcon? I mean, hey, the Falcons took a lot of Saints players, and so a lot of Saints fans call the Atlanta Saints and coaches too. Tua dropping a pass, throws, and it'll be like a little check down to Tyreek Hill, who's trying to cut up, going to get the first down to about the 28, 29 yard line. Get on Tyreek Hill because it was definitely a check down. So first down 10, 135 lets go in the first half. Still 14-7, but the Dolphins, like I said, slowly but surely making their way down the field. It's the same exact feeling, talking about the Chicago Falcon. It's the same exact feeling that Panthers fans have for a lot of the Bills, basically when uh, Brandon Beane and also Sean McDermott took over for the Bills because both of them were from the Carolina Panthers. Felt that way too. And now Shaq Thompson is another one that goes from the Carolina to the Bills pipeline. Ollie Gordon with a pretty great run there. Well, actually, a really good run for about 7 yards. And that's going to be second down about 3. 55 seconds remaining second quarter. And it looks like, who called timeout? Bills or Dolphins? I would assume Bills. Yeah, so Bills call their second timeout. They have one timeout remaining. Bum, 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 bum. Dobie, who is y'all's franchise's doppelganger? When I say that, is like they always take your players. Like I said, for the Panthers, it's the Buffalo Bills. It always seems to be that way. like players and coaches. For the Saints, a lot of Saints fans say like Atlanta's taking a lot of their players and coaches and executives. Um, I'm trying to think of another one's kind of egregious, but that's just because I know because of the NFC South. I'm trying to think of. Can't think of anything off the top of my head. So second down and 5. Tua going to be in shotgun formation with Achane to his right. Going to bring Tyreek Hill into motion. Drops back a pass. And is going to throw. It's going to be Achane who is going to... Great tackle there. Is that Taylor Rapp? No, it's Johnston. Like I said, the 7, 8, and 9 are very similar when it's like going on by like a breeze. So Taron Johnson with another great tackle. So third down for the Dolphins. And the Bills take their final timeout. So 47 seconds remain in the second quarter. Dolphins have all 3. Must be doing something right. I just heard a sign. Sorry, Billy Kerrigan in my mind right now. That's pretty close time possession. 14:35 to 14:38. All right, so third down and 7. 47 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Like I said, Bills have no timeouts. Dolphins have all 3. 2 in shotgun formation. Going to bring tight end in a motion over to the left. Drops back a pass. He's getting some pressure. Steps in the pocket. Rolls it to his left. He's going to try to get the first down and gets the 20 and then slides after he gets the first down. 37 seconds. Clock continues to run. Got a little itch on my knee. And looks like the Dolphins call a timeout with 30 seconds remaining. That's smart. Like I say, you get the clock go down a little bit more, make sure the Bills don't have enough time. Wow, you still have 2 more timeouts. See, look, Tua is being smart. He is scrambling when he needs to, and then when he needs to get down, he is getting down. That's all we can really ask for at this point. All right, so first down 10, 30 seconds remain. Only down by 7. Two in shotgun formation, Bunch to the right, with HN to his left. Draws back to pass, and is going to step in the pocket and throw, and that's going to be caught, and no, actually going to say incomplete. Try to get number 80. Ref says incomplete. So second down and 10, 23 seconds remain in the second quarter. Let's see here. Yeah, no. That's a no-go right there. Yep, hit the ground. Hit the ground, and it moves. All right, so second down and 10, 23 seconds remaining second quarter. Forward inside. 2 going to be a shotgun formation with, can't tell, it looks like Ollie Gordon to his left. Ollie, what in the world is that? Like a bunny rabbit hop? Going to be a toss to Achane, who's going to cut back in, down to the 10, down to the 9-yard line. 17 seconds remain, and a timeout is called by the Buffalo Bills. By the Miami Dolphins. So it will be third down and about 2 for the Dolphins. So one more timeout, 17 seconds remaining. Will be interesting if the Dolphins actually, score here. Third down 3. Would be a shame if they didn't. Dun dun dun. Look at old Steven Ross. All right, so from the 10-yard line, Tua drops back a pass, steps in the pocket, throws. Tyreek Hill is going to get the first down out of the 5 and out at about the 2-yard line. 11 seconds remain, and still a timeout is available for the Dolphins. I would throw it here run on the next one, call timeout if need be, and then make one last ditch effort to throw. I mean, you got 11 seconds, which is like an eternity for like 2 yards. So I think you could do it. All right, so we got bunch to the left. Two are going to be shotgun formation. Drops back a pass. Quick throw. That's going to be a touchdown to Jalen Waddle. So a tie ball game with an extra point, make it 14-14 with 8 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And surprisingly, we have a decent game. I thought it'd be below odds, but this was for not. You know what it just means? That just means that the Buffalo Bills are going to be using a lot of James Cook next week. Not next week. Yes, next week. But next half. Because they need to run the ball. I mean, I prefer to get a touchdown, but I don't mind getting run the ball. All right, so extra point is about to be underway. Snap, hold, kick is up, and kick is good. So it is 14-14 with 8 seconds remaining. 8 seconds remaining in the second quarter. 14-14. Sometimes my Alabama comes out and it sounds like a banjo. So sorry about that. I've heard that a lot. I've heard sometimes when it comes when I get angry or just randomly will just be like the Southern in you just comes out. Because sometimes I've been able to hide the accent, but other times it just comes out. I had one time where it was at Auburn. We got to speak to people from Germany for I can't remember, I think we were talking about like the how to teach like divisive history. So like talking about like how do they teach the Holocaust and that kind of stuff. But then we were just talking as well, just like just normal 20-something-year-olds. And then they were like, "We can't quite understand you because like sometimes you talk too fast." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty fair." Up to the 30-yard line, and that's where we they just took it out in a second. But we got about 2 to 3 seconds remaining in the second quarter. More like it's going to be like a little kneel down. Not too much going to kneel down probably. Yeah, sometimes I talk a little bit too fast. You slow but roll. It's not a race. Slow and steady. Don't worry about your accent. I think I have an average American accent, not a Southern one. But when I get angry or speak fast, the George in me comes out. Like I said, that's how I see it. I mean, like, so my aunt is obviously like growing up in Alabama, but she hasn't lived in Alabama in quite some time. But whenever like she gets angry, the Alabama comes out too. So I guess that's just like like it's like you're what you're used to, you know. But when I was in Alaska for 5 weeks after my senior year got done, I was a camp counselor, and I tried to hide my accent so that no one knew where I was from, and it worked. And then until I got very comfortable, and they're like, "You got a very thick Southern accent when you want to." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But I code switch sometimes." And I didn't mean to sometimes. Sometimes I don't mean to code switch, but then it would just happen. And I was just like, I want people to like me. And so I don't know why I'll switch away from a Southern accent. But it comes in and out. Why in the world did that look like Tom Holland with like a bad wig on? It's like a Lego commercial, and it looked like Tom. It is Tom Holland. What? Why is Tom Holland in a Lego commercial? And who put a terrible wig on him? It's a pretty bad wig. Maybe that's the point. I don't know. Maybe it's going right over my head. Oh, they're playing spoons. I haven't played spoons in a long time. It's like this. I don't know, probably like a Airbnb commercial. And no, Rocket is a Rocket Mortgage commercial. And it was that they're they're having their time in life, you know going to this lake house and like spending time with their family and the playing spoons. I play spoons a while. It's actually a real linguistic phenomena when people speak fast, angry, when they aren't thinking about the words they're producing, they default to their native accent language. Interesting. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Like I said, you're not like trying to fit in. You're not trying to do anything. You're just like trying to get the words out. You have no. In other words, you don't care how you sound. I guess that's fair. Or I guess like even if like maybe it could also be like with like when you're nervous too. If people like speak fast, angry, like when you're nervous too. Nervous can be like kind of bring it out a little bit. Like default settings. Let me actually look at the stats since waiting for the game to basically come back up. I can talk about some of the other games that are coming up this week weekend. Um, I want to stream the Auburn Oklahoma game, but it's on ABC, so that's a little bit of a problem because I don't have ABC because I don't have like. Unfortunately, the only cable that I do have ESPN, ESPN2, SEC Network, ACC Network for football, and then I have a couple other channels just randomly. I don't know why that's the case, but because I like I said, I give my parents like access to some of my streaming apps so that I can use their spectrum, and it used to work out really well where I could just be able to watch whatever I wanted to watch. And now it's not the case because I guess because I'm in a different time zone now. That's the only thing I can think of. Um, and so now I don't have like ABC, CBS, NBC, or anything like that. So that kind of stinks. Um, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna try to see if I can be able to find where the game is and be able to stream it. All right, so let's see here. Tua so far. Good night. It's not a terrible stat. 12 for 18, which is obviously pretty decent. Like I said, 6 for 9, so it's like you're basically in that range. My only thing is this: 66 yards, 12 completions, 66 yards. Not ideal. And then one touchdown. So today, that one touchdown, that was literally on that uh, just now. Devon Achane 6 for 35. Ollie Gordon 6 for 20. Tua does have a little bit of scramble in him. Tyreek Hill 4 for 44. Devon Achane 5 for 10. So Devon Achane has 35 rushing yards and he has 10 receiving yards. But 5 catches definitely is pretty good. Malik Washington, like I said, 2 for 9. Jalen Waddle 1 for 3, and he had that touchdown. Sack Bradley Chubb, and not really that much after that. And then the Bills, and I'm just a Bill. 11 for 13 for Josh Allen, 97 yards and 2 touchdowns. James Cook, 8 for 73. And that's pretty much how they're running it. They're talking about James Cook's running right now with also great blocking. Don Kincaid has 3 for 41 and a touchdown. Terrell Shavers, is it Tyrell or Terrell? Because it could be both. I'm going to say Terrell. Usually it's Terrell. Shavers, 1 for 17. Khalil Shakir, 2 for 15. Keon Coleman, 2 for 12. James Cook, 2 for 7. So give it some more to James Cook, please. That's all I'm asking is give the ball to James Cook. Make him have a pretty decent day. Give him about a couple more touchdowns. I'll be good. What's up, Daniel? Oh, also people how code switch aren't fluent in both dialects they switch into. They have a native mother dialect and a learned dialect. Some people have to force or at least put some effort into switch dialect. And when you're angry, you don't have time to think about how you're pronouncing words. like I said, I think that makes sense. Um, I think with like the code switching when you're like you're trying to, it's just because like some of it just like it's more comfortable with just like what in the world is State Farm? What is this commercial? It's a it's a State Farm commercial with Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I don't know why, but an analyst has a dummy, like ventriloquist dummy of Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't I'm not scared of dolls or anything like that. I'm just weirded out by ventriloquist dummies. I don't get it. I think because like growing up, I watched was it Dunham, Jeff Dunham, um, because my dad liked him, and I just wasn't a fan, and so that to put it blatantly, uh, and so I don't know. I just never get it. I don't. I get like it's like a oh it's a different person talking, but I don't know. I just never got it. Wait, hold a second. Prime Video has the Masters now. Look, I don't really care much. I don't care about golf. I did have a weird question where my kids asked me, "Wait, I thought you said you like golf." I was like, "I never said I like golf," and I was like, "Golf is a rich man sport. I ain't got that kind of money. I've never even played golf. I played putt putt. I'm decent at putt putt. Like I got a putter down, but I've never been to Top Golf to see how my swing is or anything like that. I have no idea. The most that I've swung for actual uh, golf is Wii Golf. Goodness gracious, 2019. That's crazy. Um, like I said, I've lived by a golf course, um, and then you drive by and you're very very much concerned that someone's going to shank a uh, ball right into your windshield. Um, but I've stepped on a golf course. I've stepped on a golf course because in Snowmageddon of 2010, and I say Snowmageddon, and obviously like it's Alabama's Snowmageddon, but because we live by close enough to a golf course, uh, we illegally trespassed on the golf course, and we had a like little knee board, and we just I was 10, so I was just like sledding down that. We had that, and then we had um, not one of those metal trash cans, but like the plastic trash can like handle, like the covering. And me and my sister went down those until until like an employee like walked up and saw us, and then like was walking down. Was like, "Hey, you can't be here." We're like, "Oh, okay," and then we just went back home. But yeah, I don't see myself doing golfing. I don't think I'm gonna be doing a lot of business transactions, which is why it's important to know about golfing. And I get that it's like a relax. It's supposed to be relaxing because a lot of times when I'm talking to some of my friends that do golf, it's a little bit uh, not uh, stress free, to say the truth. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I do well enough without like some of the other stress, like I get out the kind of stress kind of activities, um, where I think I'm good right now. And also, I don't like I said, I just don't have the money for golf. Golf is too expensive. It's way too expensive. But I did have some. I did some of my students ask me like, I thought you said you like golf. I was like, no, no, I'm good. You mean hypothetically illegally trespass on a golf course, like how I hypothetically use streaming sites, right? Exactly. Like, hypothetically going to stream these. But, like, obviously, we're only for true streams. So, I mean, I even think about do I really want to use Peacock or do I want to pay, 200 extra dollars a month just so I can make sure that I get NBC? Because I want to make sure that NBC knows that yes, we still want to watch you,
even if we have Peacock, we want to make sure we watch actual stream. Um, but yeah, no, definitely. No, it was illegal though. There's it's more so you just didn't really know because there's not like a you know there's not a wall, there's not a fence, there's not a thing that says keep off the grass. So also, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get a 10-year-old in trouble? No, just tell him to go home. Now I mean back then I was like curly headed Q, that kind of 10-year-old. Also very quiet too. So there's that. There's been a couple of snow days in old Alabama. There was one in 2020. I remember because it was during COVID, and I just remember having to drive to work because I still worked at when I was working at a restaurant for 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. Um, and I had to I had to drive, and there was like nobody there, but we still had to work though. But and then we got into not delivery but pickup orders. Dude, once we got into pickup orders and people didn't want to cook at their house, making bank because everybody liked our food. So they're like, all right, well we'll come by and pick up. And so they had like lines around in the parking lot. We had like a whole entire system in place too. That's how I made a lot of money during COVID because I kept on getting bonuses because I was working all the time. So kick us away, and it's gonna be that's a weird transition because the 25 to 30 to the 35 down to the 30, 38, 39 yard line, and that is where the Bills are going to start off this second half. I always find it hilarious, not hilarious, well, yes, funny, how oftentimes I will just find like a random point where I decide to stop my story and then go into the actual gameplay. Um, But yeah, so from the 39 yard line, first down 10. Josh Allen under center, gonna be strong to the left. James Cook, just give him the ball, and it's gonna be hand off James Cook, who is going to sidestep and get about 8 yard. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on. So second down and 9 for the Buffalo Bills. Sorry for not riding, Ben cleaning. Oh no, you're good. You're good, Dobie. Oh my gosh. That was wrong. Don't put a tight end on a 330 pounder. All right, so second down and 9 from the 40 yard line. Shotgun formation, bunch to the left. James Cook to his right. Now going to be Shakir in motion back out. Josh back to pass. Josh Allen going to throw. That's going to be caught. That's going to be Keon Coleman for about a 6 yard gain. So third down and 3 for the Buffalo Bills. 14 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Yeah, I got to do some cleaning tomorrow. I did a load of dishes, but I got to do a load of laundry. Dirty laundry. Third and one. Third and one. It's like they probably third and like 1.5. Yeah, it's like third and 1.5. All right, so shotgun formation. Gonna have Johnson to his left. Josh make a pass. Got all day throwing. They're going to check it down. Johnson up to the 45, down to the 44 yard line. That's going to be a first down for the Bills. However, there is a flag. Let's see what that flag is. What is it? Illegal hands. That penalty is going to be declined. Guess what? That's going to be a first down. Thank you so much. Guys, we all want hard-nosed, gritty, ground and pound, gridiron football, right? Absolutely. We all want to see a heavy run game. We all want to see Devon Achane with 2 touchdowns in the second half. We all want to see James Cook with 7 catches in the second half. And down to about the 28, 29 yard line, Khalil Shakir, the main man from Boise State. First down 10, 12:50 left to go in this third quarter. Still 14-14. Quickly, from the 29-yard line, shotgun formation, drops back to pass. James Cook is open, but he's going to stop the throw. Oh, almost picked off. Try to throw it to James Brooks. Not James Brooks. Almost picked off by Brooks. But there is a flag on the play, so might be a legal man downfield. No, it's holding on the offense. On Deion Dawkins on Bradley Chubb. Let's see here. All right, Deion Dawkins. Yep. Yeah. That's it. It's enough, but little ticky tack. Little bit ticky tack. All right, so first down and 20 for the Buffalo Bills. 12:34 left to go in the third quarter. We all want to see the RBs be used as wide receivers, take all the targets, PPR points, and receive touchdowns for a completely selfish reason, right? Absolutely. So, right here from the 39-yard line, I mean, this would be the perfect place to do like a little screen to James Cook, and he just runs it in for a touchdown. So, Josh Allen drops back to pass, steps in the pocket, rolls, and pretends to go up to the 35-30, up to the 25, up to the slide about the 21-yard line, and it looks like Kincaid is sending it over. Push and shove. Go. Let's go. I love what pushing and shoving going on. Just boys being boys, honestly. Really and truly, just because Josh Allen was sliding and a defender, number 25, kind of hit him a little bit late. You need to check on 25 to make sure he's okay. Check up on 9. So, second down and about 1 for the Buffalo Bills after about a 19-yard run by Josh Allen. Let's see here. So, he's sliding. Well, it's not really that egregious, but it makes sense why Kincaid gets upset. I need Ancient to step up because 3.3 points ain't cutting it for my second-round pick. Going to be a throw to Kincaid, who's going to first down, up to the 15, 10, 5, and, down to the 1-yard line. Thank you so much, Kincaid. You already got yourself a touchdown. You need another one, okay, Kincaid. You already have a pretty good day so far with a touchdown and probably 5 catches for 50-something yards. You know who needs a touchdown right now? That's my sweet baby boy, James Cook. Oh, my goodness. That was a great block by Moore. My sweet baby boy, James Cook, would like a touchdown. You're projected to have 17.9 had I really need them. I'm not projected to win, so I need every point I can get. I just would like James Cook to have a pretty decent day. All right, so Josh Allen, for some odd reason, in an empty set. And going to be a messed up play. Don't know what in the world is happening here. And a flag is thrown. No. You couldn't stop yourself. Then a pushing and shoving going on because they've been a little bit rough with old Joshy Poo. So I don't know who they called it on. They either called it on Brooks because he would not stop trying to tackle Josh Allen, or he called on the offensive lineman. Unnecessary roughness on number 20. So it is going to be on Brooks. Automatic first down. Oh, what's up, Zoe? So I would say that because probably on because right now Brooks is he keeps on trying to tackle him, but the whistle has already been blown multiple times. And then Spencer Brown's like, "Hey, dude, that's not cool." And then I'm assuming that Deion Dawkins says something because he came over. All right, so from the 2-yard line, James Cook is in the backfield. Please just give it to James Cook. Going to send the fullback into motion. Going to give it to James Cook, and he is going to walk in for a touchdown. Let's freaking go. Thank you so much. With 10:23 left to go in the third quarter, it is 20-14. Extra point will make it a 21-14 game. So great job there on the opening drive of the Buffalo Bills. 61 yards, 4:37 off the clock. So Zoe, how you doing? Denver Broncos hoping to bounce back. Obviously going against the Chargers. Huge game. Atlanta. We haven't even talked about the games. Atlanta going against the Panthers, hoping for a win. Bears. Who are the Bears going against again? Kick is up and kick is good. So it is 21-14. Bears are going up against Dadgummit. But now I'm just trying to find out right here what the Bears are gonna do. Who they gonna be playing? That's what I want to know. That good. I can't think of the top of my head. Let's see here. The Bears. Who in the world are the Bears playing? Oh, that's right, the Cowboys. That's right, gonna be a cowboy, baby. I'm actually feeling like I think I picked the Cowboys. Or did I pick the Bears? Gotta look back on who I picked. Because I was going back and forth. I was going back and forth between that one and also the Vikings and the Bengals. Because at the same exact time, I feel more confident in Jake Brown than I do with Carson Wentz. But I believe way more in the Vikings defense than I do the Bengals defense. So I'm like, I don't really know what I'm going to pick. So I'm probably going to go back and forth that one. Let's go. James Cook keeps cooking this defense, absolutely, and want to continue. Yes, the Cowboys. Let's just see if maybe your defense can come into play, and they're gonna be like they're gonna be all like wide on right. Okay, they're gonna be sticking in the coverage, so they're just gonna be making sure that nothing's gonna happen there with no George Pickens, not gonna have no CD Lamb, man. It's gonna have to be a hard nosed kind of football game. That's all you gotta be worried about. So Cowboys is low key a winnable game. Exactly, like I said, you could theoretically get your first win against the Cowboys, make the Giants look a little bit worse. You know, it's possible, uh, especially because that defense looked absolutely atrocious against Russell Wilson of all people. So, silver lining. Um, like I said, I just don't know who I want to go for. I'm probably going to switch my pick because I think I had the Cowboys, but I'm probably going to switch it to the Bears. But then I'm going to be upset if I do switch it. So I might just stay where I'm at. I might just stay and be comfortable. Uh, well, no, you don't have to. You don't have to delete that one. You don't have to delete that one. Adobe, we saw it. I think it was kind of similar to what you said before, though. We were talking about how since 2005 to 2013, the Bears have kind of sucked. It kind of is what it is. Oh, you just you just deleted the okay, Delly. You just kind of deleted the swear word right there. That's fine. They sucked my whole life. I'm probably gonna die before they even do anything good like win a game. Well, I think we have a chance this Sunday to have a win. Returned up to the 25, down to about the 29-yard line is Washington, and so that's where the Bears. Talk about the Bears. That's where the Dolphins are going to be starting off. I did, but Siri doesn't know the difference between win and win. That's fair. Uh, the offense is good, but that defense got fried by the Giants. Russell Wilson torched them. Caleb can do something most definitely. Him and Rome have had a pretty good connection. It'll be interesting to see that. Kind of surprised that DJ Moore has been lackadaisical, but first down 10 from the 29-yard line. A-Chan into motion. Going to be a play action pass. Going to be thrown to Waddle, who is going. Okay, so Waddle's stat line right now is going to be 2 receptions for 0 yards because he had a touchdown grab of 3 yards, and that was it. And then on the screened pass, got snuffed out pretty easily and lost 3 yards. So, second down and 13 from about the 25.5-yard line. 2 under center, going to be an I formation. Going to send Tyreek Hill into motion. Going to be hand off to Devon Achane, who is going to get like maybe 2 yards. So by third down 11 for the Dolphins. Down by 7, 9:30 remaining in the third quarter. I don't forget the F word. Let me rewind it once more. Waddle putting up Tony Snell numbers. Tony Snell. I'm blanking on Tony Snell. I mean, you gotta let me know Tony Snell. The only Snell that I know was the Snell from Benny was it Benny Snell from Pittsburgh, running back who was at Kentucky. Tua's taking a deep shot. Oh my gosh, and yeah, incomplete. No, 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 no. Oh, goodness gracious, give him some air. Taylor Rapp just like walked up to Tyron Johnson like he died. No, like give him some air. Goodness gracious. But Tyron Johnson, no, it's Bennifer who's down on the ground. I just saw the 7. He was the one who covered Tyreek Hill. He got hit, or he landed wrong. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, it's just like his chest. But taking an absolute deep shot and underthrew it because Tua doesn't have a big arm. And incomplete. NBA player who put up 0 in every major stat in 27 minutes. Oh, so he's that picture? Okay, I've seen that like image before, but I didn't know that was his name. Like I said, I don't watch NBA as much. Um, After last year, I'm not surprised by anything DJ Moore does. After the Arizona game last year, where he walked out of the field before it was even done. Yeah, the more the time passes, I don't think, I don't really know. I don't know if it would have changed anything if he stayed in North Carolina, but it just, I don't know. Because he was like that. That's the reason why I'm so confused. Because he was never that way in Carolina, and it wasn't like we were good in Carolina. So I really have no clue why um, it's been like that in Chicago. Because it's been pretty bad for him, Chicago. No points, no assists, no rebounds, no blocks, no steals, no fouls. Doing straight cardio. Because okay, so he's sorry. So Tony Snell, like that. I know the image. I just didn't know that was his name. Yeah, because this is yep. Wait, he was on He was on USA Basketball. What? He was on the. He was on the USA Basketball team. We. I did not know that. Mm. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about. Oh, we're talking about next Thursday night football game. So, Kyler Murray versus Sam Darnold. Clashes. Uh, but oh yeah, we're talking about the Bears versus Cowboys. I, like I said, I'm hopeful for the Bears because I obviously don't want to start the season 0-3. But it hasn't looked the best so far. It started off really well. Gonna be oh my gosh, almost muffed. Well, it was muffed and it was recovered. So the first down to the 20-yard line for the Buffalo Bills. Like I said, you want it to be um, you don't want to start a season 0-3. You're going against a decent opponent. But yeah, I'm a little concerned. I'm keep on thinking back to that Monday Night Football game where like we're like, oh, for like the first half we're like, oh, this is doing well, and then it did not go well. So from the 20-yard line, Josh Allen under center with James Cook in the backfield. Going to be a handoff James Cook who's going to get wrapped up. Great tackle there by Jones, and it's going to be second down and 10. In Moore's defense, he stepped out of bounds on that play you're talking about. It would have been penalty if he touched the ball. So avoid the risk of Caleb throwing to him. He sat out. At least I think it would be a flag. I got that from a YouTube comment. Dak Prescott, Week 3, NFC Player of the Week. This is the first opponent we're going against that didn't record over 14 wins last year, so I should be a little more hopeful, but his defense is already falling apart. Yeah, the injuries kind of caused a little bit of problems too, so Josh Allen going to be a little dump off to number 18, gets like a yard, so this will be second, third down and 9. Um, I'm not very knowledgeable on the rules and flags. If you go out of bounds willingly, like you basically have to come back in and like reestablish yourself, or else it's illegal touching. So if you like come out and then you step back in and you catch the ball, then obviously that's illegal touching. But you have to like I don't know how long you have to come back in. I just know that it's more so like for the back of the end zone that you see that a lot more. So from the 21-yard line, Josh Allen in shotgun formation drops back to pass and is going to check it down, and that's going to be short to Dalton Kincaid. Ooh! Is he okay? Okay, he's good. That was about to be bad. His leg stayed right here while his body wrapped around, but he's fine, supposedly. So we're good, but that did not look good. Like I said, okay. Here's the thing. Think about this. It's the Lions who, after week 1 against the Packers actually look pretty decent on defense. So I would be a little bit concerned about your defense, but it can't be any worse than what the Giants were, because the Giants are pretty bad. So have some hope. Obviously, with the expectation, like, have the hope with the expectation of, like, if we lose, we'll be 0-3, and we'll be that much closer to getting a really good pick. Because if you start the season 0-3, I mean, your playoff chances pretty much in the tank, and now you're trying to see, like, okay, well, then what's your draft pick going to be like? But what's your draft pick going to be like? But don't be doing, like, no mock drafts after, like, week 3, because that's kind of depressing. But you can, like, look and be like, okay, well, let's see, what can we find positive about this year? So if the Panthers lose against the Falcons, then we can be like, okay, well, now we're 0-3. We already lost a divisional game, which would be crucial for us to even sniff the playoffs, which is probably not going to happen. And then you can look at, okay, well, let's see. Who are we hoping kind of makes some more strides? So, like, right now, seeing how our rookies are continuing to do. So, like, Tech continue to do well. Princey's has been pretty good. Nathan Ransom has had some pretty good moments as well. Where, like, you're looking and you're kind of, like, seeing some silver linings, especially with your team growing. But obviously don't think that right now, because the fact that there's still so much season to play. So much season to play. Kincaid got 17.6 so far. Because he had the touchdown. So in the first half alone, he had like 5 catches, like for 50-something yards, a touchdown. And then he almost got another touchdown too. He's had like 2 or 3 catches so far in the second half. Like, he's going to have a good day, for sure. Almost got a little bit better because he was down to the 1-yard line before they gave, Jim the Thursday Night Football next week. Definitely not in the Super Bowl. I mean, that would be almost unfathomable. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what? You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even make sense. Ryan, I say this with the most respect I can to a division rival. What is the leash left for Bryce Young? If he's bad, is he gone? I'll talk about it in a little bit. First down 10 from the 36-yard line. Could be a toss to Achane to get up to the 40-yard line for about a 4-yard gain. Second down 6. So the leash for Bryce Young is this. You're entering year 3, and you're pretty much like your wagon is hooked up to him for at least the next 2 years. So if it gets really bad this year, like it is bottoming out, then obviously we'll pick up his 5th-year option. And then we'll look in the offseason for, like, quarterback competition, that kind of stuff. But the leash is still long enough that like this more than likely won't be his last year, even if everything goes terribly wrong. Taking a deep shot and what? Okay, so Tyreek Hill fell down. All right, so third down and 5. And he walks. Oh, he's walking a little gingerly. That's not good. Um, so his leash is long enough, but it's not like, oh, because of last season we're like he is absolutely the guy. I want him to be the guy. I believe in him, and I still do. And there's some stuff you ever see last week, even though early on I had to defend him from my friends who were like, Bush Young is back. Do 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 do. And I'm like, okay, are you watching the game or are you just seeing the fact that there was a fumble? Third down and 5 from shotgun formation, and that is a false start by, well, maybe not. Was there a timeout called? Did the Buffalo Bills just call a timeout on 3rd and 5? Why? I know that you are literally like 7-point lead and you're expecting to win this game, but it's the third quarter. It's only 3rd and 5. Why are we calling timeout? Sean McDermott, people. Sean McDermott. I'll talk about brushing after this play, if it's 3 now. So 5:47 to go in the third quarter. Still 3rd and 5, 21-14. See if the Dolphins can do anything. All right, so 2 are going to be in, let's see, shotgun formation with Achane to his left. Draws back a pass and is going to try to avoid the pressure. Throws on the run, and it's going to be incomplete. So 4th and 5, and a punt is about to be underway. So, like I said, it's not a huge leash, but it's a long enough leash that basically, like, I would be surprised if, like, the 5th-year option not picked up. Last game, like I said, it didn't start off the best, but at the same exact time, you're looking at the fact that, one, the fumble was due to the fact that it was bad pass protection. And you can also blame the fumble on him too. And then I believe the interception, if I remember correctly, was a tip. So, little bit of a nitpick. But like I said, it's not like he was like, oh, well, Bryce Young played like absolutely amazing. No, he didn't play absolutely amazing. But when we were down by a lot, we found a way to get back into the game. We almost won the game. So it's one of those things where like, you look back on it, you're like, oh, so there's some positive about the game. But at the same time, I know it's a credit to the Cardinals. So it's but I'm hoping that the Panthers can do well. And where we can be like, okay, we're almost there. If we get if we can actually get a good defense, and if we have a good enough pick, if we can get a Caleb Downs, I would feel really good about the back half of our team. But right now I'm looking at linebackers because it's absolutely abhorrent. He's not Jamarcus Russell bad, and he's 210 standard for moving on. 210 standard for moving on from first overall pick. This will be 3 years for Young, and this is the quickest first overall pick was cut. Russell above. Yep. It's not that bad, but QBs and young players in general don't get any grace in their early years. I think because of what you saw at the second half of last season, that especially if this season continues to be where it's been mid, then there'll be causing questions. But I feel in the actual locker room, like the people still believe in Bryce Young, the coaches still believe in Bryce Young. So until Bryce proves that the coaches do not have faith in him, then yeah, then the leash is gonna be short. But right now, I feel like the coaches know that unfortunately there's a chance we don't play the kind of ball that we want to, which is run the ball a lot and be able to do play action off of that, because that would be really good for Bryce. Do I expect if we do pay Bryce for us to pay him a lot of money? No, I don't see that happening. Um, we'll pay him like Brock Purdy money, which is like, yes, I say that people are like, oh, that's a lot of money. I was like, well, if you look at the actual contract and how it's set up, in a pretty decent way, where he still gets his money, but it's not like huge um, payday all of a sudden. Um, but yeah, I think Bryce is going to continue to be decent, and I'm just hoping and praying that it will get better. Because right now it's looking a little bit depressing. First down, 10 from the 16-yard line. Josh Allen going to send James Cook over to his left. Drops back a pass, and he's going to step in the pocket, and is going to run to the 20, down to the 20-yard line. So it's going to be second down at about 6 or 7. The league is more impatient than in Russ's era, and the Panthers invested more in him than the Raiders, so I can see a lot of things happening. Like I said, it's because of the fact that we have a lot of other needs, like especially on defense, that I would be surprised if Dan Morgan is literally like, you know what, let's not use our first round pick on a defensive starter that we obviously need, and let's focus on a quarterback. So that's what I'm saying. Like the leash is it's not very long, but it's like a medium leash. The leash is, I would say, about as long as one of those backpack leashes for like those kids that you see at like a zoo or an amusement park. The ones that like are super duper crazy that you kind of have like it looks like a monkey's tail. It's usually like a monkey backpack with a little monkey tail as a leash, and the parent just kind of like leaving a little leash where like you're out a little bit, but I'm in control at the same exact time. You see what I'm saying? That's my version of the leash. Third down 2 from the 24-yard line. Josh Allen drops back to pass. He's got some time. Throws across middle to be caught. Oh, great window right there. That's going to be Shavers with a great catch. I mean, there was like 3 people all around him. That's a really great throw by Josh Allen for a first down. Let's see here from the all-22 angle. So you got Shavers on the right, and it just sits right there. I mean, like I said, it's a pretty decent window. All right, so first down 10 for the Bills. Under center with James Cook in the backfield. Going to be a play action pass. Avoids the pressure, rolls it to the right, throws a little floater, and incomplete. If you threw it more like an actual catchable range, it could have been a penalty. They're showing his connection to Donkey and Cakes. Like I said, so far it's been, oh no, really just showing him dicing it up. Because like so far he's had a pretty decent day. I mean, he's got a touchdown. He's got like 160 through the air so far. Second down 10, 3:23 left to go in the third quarter. Still 21-14. Josh Allen in shotgun formation, going to send Khalil Shakir over to the right. James Cook is to his left. Play clock at 3, 2, 1. Got snap off. Drops back to pass. And a little bit of not quite enough pepper on that one. That's Rasul Douglas on the coverage against Keon Coleman. So third down and 10. I don't know if that one was tipped or what, but it was a slowly thrown pass. And I'm assuming that Keon Coleman was like expecting it a little bit faster. All right, so third down and 10. 3:19 left to go in the third. Josh Allen going to send, looks like, is that Dawson Knox? Yeah, Dawson Knox over to the right. Drops back a pass and is going to step up in the pocket. Now is going to check it down, and it's going to be dropped by Johnson. So, fourth down and 10, 3:12 left to go in the third quarter, and a punt is away. I'm sorry, Ryan, I've been going through a lot lately. I've had a friend I've known since the late 90s who just kind of just was cutting ties with me, and he invited me to his wedding recently. Oh, man. His entire family was shocked and didn't know what to do because of how long we've known each other. I'm sorry about that, Dobie. That's rough. I'm I'm really sorry about hearing about that, though, Dobie. There's one of those things where like you're hoping that you can always be friends with somebody forever, and I've had conversation with my friends, and I said that I've seen some friends come and go. I definitely don't want to lose you, um, and so that's why, like, trying to keep up with as much as I possibly can. And as older brothers, since we were in middle school together, oh man, that's a lot of investment too. Ah, oh, that sucks. That sucks, Dobie. I'm sorry about that, dude. He was my best friend. I don't want to pry too much, but like I was trying to figure out how in the world that happened. Kind of like just cutting ties with you just randomly. That's from the 33-yard line. Going to check it down to Devon Achan, who makes man miss, gives to the 40 and down to the 42-yard line. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of like there's really anything to say, but like I said, I haven't experienced something like that yet. So unfortunately I can't. Sometimes we grow apart from the people that we love, and it's a hard thing to see. Um, and I've the only thing I've really experienced is like some of the friends that I thought that I had turned out not to be the case. Um, but I haven't had anyone that I've had like that much time invested in, and so I wish I had something. I wish I could tell you something, but I the best I could possibly do is like obviously like I'm a religious person. I'm a Christian, and time again, even when I've questioned like why things have happened, um, I found that it was in the best case like later on, and I might not understand why it happened in the first place. Um, and that's all I can really say is like I don't know why that happened to you. Um, but man, I don't know why that happened to you. But my best thing that I could possibly say is like, unfortunately, things happen for a reason, and hopefully, hopefully, like maybe you find another person just um, like him, like later on in life. Um, man, that sucks. Um, I got him a job with one of my friends. He had worked with him for a long time. We worked together for a long time, but out of the blue, he used personal information about me to tell my boss that I was unruly and that I needed to stay at my house and not be on the road with them. I didn't find out about it till later that he had been stealing from them after I was no longer around. Oh my gosh. So, what in the world? So so he was using the information that he knew about you, that he had only gotten the job because you helped him get the job. That's messed up. That is oh my gosh, that's messed up. You helped him get the job and then oh my gosh. And the fact that you say you have no idea why, like even like with like, his family doesn't understand what in the world what that's your friend has to be going through something because like the fact that what in the world? I'm trying to piece things together. Like I'm not. I'm trying. So it just it's the end of the third quarter. So we're gonna go to commercial break. Oh god, I gotta figure this one out. We got it after the pandemic, and it was good for a few months. But then he told me and my boss to have me work from home. Hmm. Okay. So then, has it been like a couple of years since then that it kind of like grew apart, or was it like like carry over from around COVID? Because I'm trying to think of like how in the world is it all of a sudden just yeah okay. Dang, so I'm trying. I'm like, do you have contact? Like do you talk to like his family at all? It's like maybe they can give you some closure as far as like what they might know and be like, I don't know what happened. We just kind of grew apart. Um, but man, that's it's. I'm still hung up on the fact that you helped him get the job, and then he basically like tried to cut you out. Because even if here's the thing, even if you are a friend of somebody else, and you believe, hey, something's up, then why don't you have the conversation with the person before you contact the boss? That's the other thing that I'm thinking of. Is like if he felt that you were being unruly, in his opinion, then why not have the conversation with you before talking to your boss? That's also messed up. Recently, he pulled away from me since the beginning of this year. Gosh, that's goodness gracious. Because I'm trying, like I said, parties are just making me mad. Because like that's just it's just messed up in general. Like if you've known someone your whole basic your whole entire life, so you know generally know ins and outs, and then you use information when they helped you out in the job, they don't know. Unfortunately, I've had to play dumb on what he did with getting himself fired. Oh, okay. I'm really stuck on this. My thing is this obviously, like you said, you want to make sure that everything's fine with him. Because, like I said, at the same time, like y'all have been friends for a very long time, and like taking care, you want to like take care of him because like at the same time, like um, he's been your friend for a very long time, so obviously you're concerned about him. But I don't know, dude. That's some wild behavior to do. That's some wild behavior to do. Because, like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my head around why someone would even do that. Because I like sometimes like especially I'm kind of go off like with some of my students, I'm like I just don't understand what is going through your brain. And I mean it's a seventh grade brain, so like there's much difference between that and like a full grown adult. But I just don't understand why I just yeah. I would pray for him. Um, my coworker that lives in the area we worked in with told me. Well, like I said, I would keep praying about it. Praying for God to give you some guidance on what He feels you should do. Um, like I said, whatever happens, like happens. Like I said, it's one of those things where like I've had it happen to me before. Where basically just like you just pray and you're seeing like where it takes you. And a lot of times it's been for me has been a very sobering experience where I had to I in my case had to cut out friends because I realized that I was doing way more of the heavy lifting of trying to keep the friendship afloat. Um, but that is it's just still I'm still just trying to piece that all together. Oh goodness. But yeah, I would just oh my goodness. I don't want his family to know what he may or may not have done, but if true, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad. Obviously, you don't want his family to feel like to think illy of him. it is very wild. It is very wild. I feel I'm so sorry about that, Dobie. I hope over the next however long it is that it gets fixed. Hopefully, maybe you can find some clarity a little bit later. But that's just touchdown Tyreek Hill. Sorry about that. Touchdown Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I that would mess me up too. That would mess me up. I'm really sorry that's hurting you, Dobie. I hope, like I said, I hope you find some clarity. I would I would also talk to the family, not tell them anything, but just like see if you can like help them out in any way possible too, because obviously like they're probably feeling some of the same exact things. Like especially if he's cutting you out, maybe he's also cutting them out too. Um, because like I said, you've known the family for a long time. Since you said y'all been friends since like middle school. Just I hope so. His older brother that is my age are the closest to me and say the right things. Yeah, I just I'm still baffled by the fact that you helped him get the job and then he tried to screw you at the job. That's still I I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I'm hope for you, Dobie. I'm hoping that maybe like so you can get some kind of clarity soon. Because that's some very odd behavior. That's usually indicating there's something deeper that's going on with him. Especially if like his family doesn't even know. But I hope the best for him. I hope the best for him. Even like I said, like even if somebody like does me wrong, somebody does like friends wrong, I still hope the best for him because obviously there's something wrong. I did. I spoke with his mom about for 3 hours a month before his wedding when she called him over to walk her dogs while I was gone. She was gone. Mm. Oh, while she was gone. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha. Man, I'm trying to think of anything really like I want to give you advice and at the same time like I know I'm young, so like I haven't lived as long as I like want to give people advice, but for the wedding when I got there, she wrote me such a beautiful note telling me how she was honestly sorry about how I didn't even know about the wedding until after like our mutual friend who lives with them asked me if I was going to be at the wedding when I told him happy birthday. Oh, oh no. Oh no. You found out when you told your mutual friend happy birthday and you found out that you weren't invited. Oh my gosh, oh, I'm so sorry, Dobie. Oh, oh my gosh, it just yeah, oh, I'm so sorry, Dobie. That's gotta be rough. Oh, well, I'm glad that like the mutual friend actually was understandable though too. So I'm assuming that like after you said you were asking like talk about like what do you mean that they were probably in shock too. Goodness gracious. First down 10 from the 35-yard line, toss to James Cook. 40. up to the 45-yard line, first down 10 for the Bills. It's good, Ryan. Our mutual friend has been friends with all of us just as long. He was not happy about it either. I mean, I wouldn't be happy about it. I mean, dude, like on his birthday too. That's the thing. Like on his birthday, he's like, "Oh, you going to the wedding?" And then he finds out that you're not going. You're not going. That's what I'm saying. Like, not only is it messed up for you, but it's also messed up for your mutual friends. Your mutual friends, like, what the heck? Like, oh gosh, yeah. Like I said, there's gotta be like something else happening with your friend. I'm hoping I'm like I said, honestly, I'm just hoping that your friend finds some kind of clarity because obviously, like, that's something that he's going on with. In fact, he's not talking to the mutual friend about it. In fact, he's not talking to the family about it. Yeah, honestly, Dobie, I'll be praying for your friend too because that like that's a whole bunch of just not doing right. Not doing right by you, not really even doing right by the friends too, but like even talking to the friend about it. I mean, sure, like the friend would probably tell you, but like at the same time, like if depending on the context of the conversation, you could be like at least explain why. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm gonna pray for you, and I'm pray for your friend. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully, like you get some kind of clarity over the next, definitely hopefully over the next week, because that's rough. We were all together for over 25 years. Oh, that's right. Cause oh my gosh. Cause that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not even 25 years old yet. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I want to help you out, but like I've never even experienced like that level of being together for so long. You know what is interesting? Our mutual friend, he's a Cowboys fan. That'll be that. That is one way to, to bring it full circle. Um, that is interesting. Oh man, I just don't know, man. Like I said, all I can do is it's in God's plan at this point. Just like I said, I'll pray that God can show you um, why does this happen. Like I said, like every single time that I've questioned, every single time that I've doubted, like I've been proven wrong. So I'm hoping the same for you. I'm hoping that like there is a good explanation for what's happening because that's just um, well, I guess on a positive note, um, it's a tie game. 10:06 left to go in the first quarter from the 36-yard line. Going to be handoff James Cook, who gets up to the 30-yard line for a 6-yard gain. I understand, Ryan. I appreciate you understanding. I didn't mean to blow up earlier. Oh, no, no, you're good. Adobe, you're perfectly fine. It was not right of me, even with what I'm dealing with. It's not my place to do something as kind as you. Dope. No, like I said, Dope, no, no, no. This, look, I want to make this community to where people can feel like they can say any kind of sports opinion or anything at all. Like I want to make sure that my community is safe, and so far it's been pretty good. Like I'll give it like even when I made videos that people didn't necessarily agree with in the comments, like I've had conversation with them, and they're like, "Oh, you're understanding of like where I'm coming from." I'm like, "Yeah, as long as you understand where I'm coming from, we have a problem." And I've had some pretty decent conversations in the comments. Like that's what I want this community to be. I want it to be you could say like safe space, but like basically just like a space where people can speak their mind. That's obviously, and obviously as long as you know we're not spewing hate, uh, because that's one thing I'm kind of concerned about when I get if I get when when I get bigger, um, because that tends to happen in some sports communities, but I don't want that to be my kind of community. But no, I like I said, Dobie, you're good. Like I said, absolutely good. I didn't understand it at first, but now I understand it. And no, you're perfectly. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Like I said, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that things go right. I hope things go right. Um, where are we at in this game? So 20. Oh, sorry. So at the 20. Okay, at the 20-yard line. So let's see. So far, um, this has been a interesting game. Interesting commentary. First down 10 gonna be a throw to Josh Palmer for 5 yard gain. Second down and 5. Under 8 minutes left going fourth. Manuel, Dobie, I'm really sorry for what you're going through, but I'm glad you feel good enough to let it out and not bottle up. Exactly. That's the reason why I don't mind this at all. Um, I've gone through something and bottled up my emotions that did not end well. Um, but I would be a mid. Oh, a mod if you need one. Oh, I appreciate it, Dobie. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do the mod. I like I said, thankfully I haven't been like bombarded by like a lot of messages and stuff like that. But I had no idea about mods. But what am I doing? And that's a touchdown to Khalil Shakir. Let's freaking go! Hey, Khalil Shakir. Also, like I said, that's positive. So touchdown, but for the Bills. Trying to think of positives. Two, like Dobie said, not keeping your emotions bottled up. That's also positive. Thirdly, Bears are going to win on Sunday. That's going to be a positive. I'm just hopeful, but it's possible. Um, fourthly, Panthers versus Falcons is going to be an instant classic, like it always is. Um, positive. And then tomorrow's Friday. Positive. A shared sorrow is half as painful. There you go, Manuel. Very wise words. Uh, Kick is up and kick is good. So in this game, 28-21, 7-17 left going fourth. Um, yes, thank you, Emmanuel. I'm on the other end of tears. I don't mind hiding it. I cry. It's life. Exactly. Like I said, I like. I'm surrounded by students that don't want to show like that they cry because they're in seventh grade, and so I'm like ever so slightly like trying to make sure they understand that it's okay to have normal human emotions, because like especially when you're young, you're that's what and also in certain contexts you're taught like no, don't show emotion. I'm like, well, no, it's good to show emotion in certain cases. Um, and so trying to be like a good um, role model for like the students, try to show like, hey, it's okay to have like these not only to have the emotions, just like bear them away, but also express those emotions. Um, I'm also trying not to hate watch this game because of the situation between me and my friend that it distances himself from me. Yeah. Wait, hate watch this game or the Sunday game? Because is your because he's the wait is the mutual friend a Cowboys fan or are both of them a Cowboys fan? Because that would also probably yeah. Because like I said, y'all known each other for a while, so that would also probably be good too. This game, okay. Well, let's try to look at the positive. Like I said, I always try to find the positive. I used to be way more positive than I am right now. Um, like some of the people that I knew would try to tell me tragedies, and I would find the positives in it. And then looking back on it now, probably not the best thing. But I used to think that if I was positive all the time, that people would like me. And obviously, like I said, I didn't really like. I was observant as a kid, but I thought like hyper positivity was the way to go. And then when you go positive all the time, then a lot of times you basically depress yourself, and that's what ended up happening. So, but we can look at the positives for this game. So far, this game's been pretty good. I'm trying to hate watch this game because he technically claims both. Oh, oh, okay, interesting. He live in New York City now. Oh, okay, okay. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, okay. Let's try to think of positives. One, yes, he may be a fan, but in the same exact way that I'm trying to think of the positives. Um, the players are just playing for the franchise and not the fan, so we could think of it that way. So we think of like um, the Bills are a fun team to root for. The Dolphins are a team to I don't want to say loathe because I don't loathe them, but I definitely don't care that much for the Dolphins. But I like some of the players. So positive is that this game is not a blowout. So that's a huge positive because that was what I initially was going to think it was going to be. Um, the Dolphins the past 2 weeks have actually done decent against their division opponents instead of the Colts. So not too bad. Throw and that's going to be incomplete. Try to go to Tyreek Hill. So 3rd down 8. But a 7 point game over halfway through the fourth quarter. That's a like I said it's positive. Positive. James Cookin is having a good day. Positive is Donkey K is having a good day. I think Achan's having a decent day, but not an amazing day. Um, there hasn't been any turnovers, so that's positive for clean football. 3rd down 8, Tua throws to the left, and look, a completion up to the midfield, so that's a positive too. First down. Um, I made an Indiana Jones joke, and he already claimed his season is over. So sounds like he only cheers for the Bills when they made the playoffs. I don't like when people do that. I get it. I get there's some people who are like playoff teams. Like I do that for the NBA because like I my I had 2 different playoff teams. Started off Houston Rockets, then failed miserably, and then I hitched my wagon to the Indiana Pacers because I liked Halliburton, and it worked out well. Um, so I guess it makes sense. I've done it too, but I don't know. There's also some people that I know that will only follow like one player, and wherever that player goes, they're a team. They're a fan of that team now, which I think is interesting too, especially if you have someone who bounces between teams. But um, Donkey K is on my only winning fantasy team thus far. So, there you go. So, like I said, he's doing well on your team. Yeah, like I said, I kind of get it. Like especially if you're like a Fairweather fan, but if you're like a playoff team, if you're like a playoff like kind of like a fan, and then your team wins Super Bowl, and then you want to try to like celebrate like oh well my team won a Super Bowl, then I'll kind of be like I don't know if you get to really celebrate the highs and lows like normal fans because you weren't there when they were during the season struggling. You just saw they were a good team and like, you know what? I'm gonna go for them. um, if you already have a team to hitch your wagon onto, then I don't like. But for NBA, I can see that if you don't have your favorite NBA team. Like I said, I kind of like I said that's what I was thinking. The caveat was like if you're like a Fairweather fan and you don't really have like if you don't have a team, that makes sense. But if you do have a team, well, even if you do have a team, you can still root for like someone like oh well like I can root for the Bills to win it all because I picked them to win the Super Bowl, or I can root for the Lions to win it all because I picked them to win Super Bowl. But I'm not like gonna be like, yeah, my Bills won, like that kind of stuff. Because like I said, I'm not an actual fan. I'm a I'm a hopeful for them to finally win a Super Bowl kind of fan. So yeah, that's like a genuine kind of thing. Just hoping that like people's legacies are fulfilled, that they finally have Super Bowl, they kind of like hang their hat on. But I don't know. Third down and 4 from the 44-yard line. Tua throws to the left. And that's going to be a completion to Jalen Waddle to the 30-yard line. So another positive, first down. 4:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Both teams have only 2 timeouts and only down by 7. So I'm happy that this is turned into a pretty decent game. Now, what I want to happen is for when the Bills get the ball back, just give it to James. That would be even more positive. So, from the 31-yard line, Tua going to be in shotgun formation with, I might say Rasul Douglas, with Ollie Gordon to his right. I was thinking of, because he's 31, I was thinking of Raheem Mostert, and that's definitely not right. I hate to say Bucks fan have been much better and have been around so many of them. We used to be rivals, so that always guaranteed me at least one Bears game in the 90s since they only had one national televised game in the 90s. That's interesting. Oh, I mean, that makes sense as Tampa. That makes sense as Tampa. Um, it's also wild, too, thinking back to, like, back in the day when you have the Panthers, the Bucks, and well, really the Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints all being in the West. But then you had the Buccaneers. That was in. They were in the Central, right? Yeah. So the fact that you had New Orleans, and then you had Tampa. Then you had, well, I'm trying to think Atlanta right here and Charlotte, technically. Like, they're all kind of along almost the same line. And then you have one that's technically in the Central, and everybody else is like, you're in the West, even though it's basically like how the ACC is nowadays, where it's like you got California teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Makes no sense whatsoever. They have been so diehard before they won the first championship. Back in the day, the Bears barely got any national televised games. I guess that makes sense. And then, once you had Bears winning 85, then Michael's first, picked off. Oh, my gosh. 25-30, 35-40, out of bounds. And that is a picked off by Bernard. Let's freaking go. That right there could be the closer, especially the Bills can be able to run the ball. I guess it makes sense when you have, Bears win at 85. Michael's first, huge years, what is it, 86? Because then you have, Celtic teams and all that kind of stuff, and, the Pistons in the late 80s, too, where he's not able to get over the hump. I believe that's right, isn't it? Michael had a really good 86 season because 1986. Yeah, because 84 drafts. They'll show. Well, if it'll show, Vegas does not want to show. Oh, there it is. So, yeah. So, 85, 86 is 22. And then you go to 86, and yep, MVP in 86. Let's freaking go. I'm not even a basketball fan. I know about that. So then you guys, Michael, like I said, in Chicago, has a string of MVPs. Then you got the Bears that are consistently good, even though they can't get back to the Super Bowl. So I guess that makes sense as far as like media. I mean, being in Chicago, I'm trying to think if I don't know much about baseball. Was the White Sox and Cubs good in the '80s? So no, for a while they were not good. Um, my first season for watching anything was back in 1992. Oh, so then you grew up with the Jordan Bulls, winning championships. See, that's another thing too. We we had I think I've talked about this before. About a it's probably about 2 weeks ago now. At this point, we're talking about Kings. Um, my kids were trying to talk about King James, and I was like, "Well, he's not an actual king." And they're like, "No, he's a king in the NBA." And I'm like, "No, he's not." And then they were trying to talk about like who's the best. Like they asked me who's the best, and I was like, "Well, you can be like best of your era. This is kind of hard to kind of determine." And so then they were talking about Kobe, and I was like, I was like, okay. I was like, you could say Kobe is like the best of the 2000s, maybe. Like, so it's kind of debatable. Um, and so I was like, I can't remember what was. Wait. So then we're talking about Jordan in class, and now I think about it, I don't know why I just think about it. I just think about the fact that I was talking about Michael Jordan versus LeBron James in a civics class. Because I don't mind like small little conversations, especially like when it's like a note taking day. But from the 41 yard line, going to be a handoff to Moore, who's going to cut back inside up to the 45, up to the 50, and that's going to be a first down for Moore. However, there's a flag though. This was his first year, and that was the year he first won a title. Uh, for WGN. Oh yes, station. 84 and 89 Cubs made the playoffs before my time. LOL, back then, the East and West Division winner played in the NLCS Championship Series. Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, obviously Cubs and, because Cubs had didn't they have a run in, like, didn't the Cubs lose one to the Yankees? I feel like that one of those times. Like I said, I'm not a base. I'm like this has been like right around the time that I was born, but I don't know why. But I feel like no, it might have been the Mets instead of the Cubs. Going to be a handoff to James Cook, who is going to get about 5 yards on that first down. Let's see. Cubs history. Talk about Chicago Cubs. Well, the second time out for the Dolphins. Let's see here. Show me, tell me what you want. Let's see here. Show me the money. No, lost in NLCS though. That's what I'm thinking of. 2003, they lost in the NLCS. That's what I'm thinking of. They were close. Um, no, they never made it out of the NLCS. Second down 8 and second. No, so second down 16. Josh Allen drops back a pass and stuffs in the pocket and is going to check it down. That's going to be to Moore again. He's going to get the first down to the 45-40, up to the 35 and down. And guess what? That is first down 10 for the Buffalo Bills. 2:34 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the clock continues to run down. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Ryan Sandberg, Greg Maddox, and the Red Baron Rick Sutcliffe. Back in the 80s. Yeah, because Greg Maddox was on the Cubs. Because there's a story about Greg Maddox's pranks that he used to do that I watched a couple of months ago. And obviously then he goes to the Braves. And like I said, I'm not a Braves fan. I just know a little bit about the Braves because, like, proximity when I grew up, and a lot of my friends are Braves fan. And technically, the only major league baseball game that I've been to was the Braves, and that was back when Chipper Jones was having his retirement tour. Um, and so my dad was like, we need to go watch a game." So I vaguely remember it, but I really don't. So I don't really remember my MLB game. I've never been to an NBA game either. Almost went to an NHL game when we were in Nashville, and then the pipe burst. The sewage pipe burst in the Nashville Predators arena when we were in Nashville, and we didn't get our money back because I don't know why, but we were not allowed to get our money back. And I think about that constantly. Is that we were trying to go to a NHL game, and then got denied. um, our best season happened because you had 2015, 2016, 2017, making the NLCS each of those years, and won the pennant on my birthday, and won the World Series a week later in 2016. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. 1998, Jordan's final season with the Bulls was the big home run race between Sosa and McGuire. See, like I said, I think that's what's kind of cool that I've never experienced. But like being either in a city or being a fan of a team that all the different teams are all good at the same exact time. Because never had that. Because one, growing up more so a college football fan, and then since being a Panthers fan, it's not like, oh, Panthers, the Charlotte Hornets are great. Ain't happening. So the Hurricanes every now and then have been pretty good. Now, when I say they've been pretty good, they've been good, but they never been able to get over the hump. So that's what I mean to say. But I'm also not really. I'm more so of a minor league hockey fan. 1999, they both went off again for almost just as many home runs, and Chipper Jones ended up winning the NL MVP. I haven't suffered much as a sports fan, really only last year when we choked the division, but that's a long-term heartache. I really got into sports right after Georgia teams had their spotlight. That's fair. From the 35-yard line, toss James Cook, who's going to cut back inside and get about 2 yards there. And timeout was called by the Dolphins, their last one. Yeah. Emmanuel, here's my thing that I'm going to say about you being a Georgia fan. You hitched your wagon at the right time to be a Georgia fan because this is the highest they've ever been. Considering the fact that, outside of last year, their previous 3 years, they were on one of the longest winning streaks we've ever seen. Winning 2 national titles and being so close to winning a third. And considering the history of being a Georgia fan, because that's the thing, I think I've said before. Having friends who were Georgia fans and knowing what Georgia was before Kirby Smart got there with Mark Richt, it was always, we're so close, but we can't quite reach over the hump. It was like Ryan Day before last year. It was literally like Ryan Day before last year, where you're so close, you feel it in your bones, you feel it, you can finally, make it over the hump. But you're talented, you're really talented, but you can't make it work. There are several instances where you can look back and you feel like Georgia could have won all that year, and they didn't. The playoffs leading up to first Eagles versus Chiefs Super Bowl was my first time caring, and if I had cared 1 year earlier, I could have watched UGA win a natty. Exactly. Like I said, I remember when UGA won against Alabama too. That was the one thing that I was like, oh man. Josh Allen is going to not really hurt, but sidestep and then fall at about the 30-yard line. Clock will continue to run down. It'll be 4th down. So the Bills will try to win. We'll just try to kick a field goal with about 30, not really 30-something seconds. about 26 seconds left. Try to make it an insurmountable lead. Um, but yeah, no, like I remember when it happened when they beat Alabama. They're like, oh, well, the tide has turned, and now we're going to be winning, and it sucked. Honestly, it has. It has really sucked seeing not only the biggest rival in Alabama have the greatest dynasty that we've ever seen in our lives, but then see the perpetual hopeful Georgia fan finally get the championships they feel like they deserves, and uh, and then now a lot of them have become full of themselves. Not saying you, but a lot of them have, and it sucks being an Auburn fan. It's great. I don't want to downplay it all being an Auburn fan, but I don't think that a person would love if their two main rivals were the Patriots and then the Chiefs, and they had to endure that kind of stuff. So I've seen multiple Gator championships, QBs that were both Gators and Bears. Shane Matthews, Daniel Werfel, and so Rex Grossman. That's uh, unfortunate. Kick is up and kick is good. So that was gonna be the game. Like I said, the game was almost over after that interception. But 31-21 with 22 seconds remaining. Bills definitely gonna win this one. Um, it feels weird knowing that when teams win championships, there are real fans behind that to get to celebrate. Exactly, like I said, it's one of those things where, like, especially if you've been a fan for a very long time, it is very rewarding. Like finally seeing like my team when I was a young kid win a national title. That's seeing the Panthers go to the Super Bowl after the previous year going 7-9. That's 7-8-1. Like that was incredible too. Like the journey that your team goes through to finally win one, or at least get close to winning one, is it's magical. Honestly, it's magical. Dobie, 1996, 2008, 2006, 2008. I don't know if I asked you this, Dobie, but how do you feel about Swamp Kings? Like the whole Netflix documentary. I feel like they could have done a lot better job. I think it was kind of like a fluff piece for Urban Meyer because they did not talk about Auburn enough. I mean, 2006 they just brushed over the fact that Auburn beat y'all, and I'm upset about that. Or 2007 they kind of brushed over that too. Um, but I'm interested to hear what you had to say. Um, it's a feeling that feels so surreal, especially since we 15 minutes away from Lombardi. I really wish I could say we were ever world champs. Man, last night got me in my feels. Yeah, no, I think. Do I want to make a bold prediction? I think within the next 5 years, the NFC South will be back to what it was before. Very bold prediction. But when Cam was at his peak, when Drew Brees was also at his peak, when Matt Ryan was at his peak, from say like 20, 20 like 10 to 2020, a 10-year run where at least two of our teams outside of 2014, at least two of our teams were really good. And then we had a couple of years where like three of our teams were really good. And you had one team that wasn't very good, and that was the Bucks. But that's my bold prediction. In 5 years, NFC South will get back to where it was before, and that's almost picked off. Um, we even had Chris Leak on the practice squad. You had Chris Leak on the Bears practice squad. That's interesting. I have 10 titles between the Cubs, Bulls, and Gators. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But I would trade all my Gator titles and a half the Bull titles for Super Bowl victory. They definitely glazed over Auburn. They really did. Like I said, they really did. And I get it. They were really talking about Florida, but I mean, it always gets talked about because the speech for 2008 y'all lost to Ole Miss, but like I think the Auburn loss definitely helped out you in your 2006 season, where it was like, hey, we can still lose. Um, that's the end of the game, 31-21. Um, Bills win 10 straight at home versus the Dolphins. Um, but I'm waiting for the day that maybe they might show an Auburn Netflix documentary because that 2010 year is definitely to be documented. Um, the year after Super Bowl, the year after Super Bowl, huh? Huh? Crazy to think there was a 2 year stretch where the MVP and NFC champs came out of the NFC South. How far we've fallen. Yes, we used to be a respectable division. We honestly were. Like 2017, dude. 2017, the last time the Panthers were actually relevant. We could not beat the Saints. And then who do we have to play in the division in the wild card round? The Saints, because in that 2017 year, that was when that was when you had the 49ers and who else was it that was 13-3? You had like three teams that were 13-3 in the NFC, which is still wild remembering that. Um, Super Bowl 41. So that is 9 years before Super Bowl 50. So that is. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do that. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Bears versus Colts. Yeah, I like. I don't know. I think there's obviously if Rex Grossman was a better quarterback, y'all probably could have won that game. But it was always gonna be hard because it's the Colts. So yeah, I'm just hoping that I'm just hoping that over the next couple of years that at least one of our teams will make it to the Super Bowl. Will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But you never can be too sure. Um, but yeah, mid 2000s NFC was moving different. It really was. It's not like '90s NFC where like basically whoever comes out of NFC is win the Super Bowl because that was pretty consistent. Um, but man, what I wouldn't give to go back to the NFC South of those days of yonder years. Because now I gotta try to defend my team and be like, oh well, you would be even worse if you were in the NFC South. I'm like, can't really say nothing because it's kind of true. I just want the Panthers to be good. It has so much to ask. Like, I would take an 8-9 season. That's my expectation. I want my expectation to be 8-9. I want it to be high enough that it's not like astronomical, but and it's like decently achievable. But the fact that like my ceiling is just 8-9 is still kind of depressing. Do you want to be good enough just to suck? 8-9. You're good enough just to have a middle of the road pick? 8-9. I don't know. I just want us to be competitive. The last year the Panthers were competitive was when we traded Christian McCaffrey away. The last year that we were competitive, and the reason why, and I've talked about this before, the reason why so many Panthers fans have the Stockholm syndrome with Steve Wilkes was because Steve Wilkes was the head coach. I honestly want to make a video. I honestly do. But I feel like it is going to be absolutely hated by a lot of Panthers fans because they don't want to hear the truth. But I have a lot of truth to talk about with Steve Wilkes' era and his interim thing because a lot of Panthers fans are delusional and think that we would have be making playoff runs with Steve Wilkes. Where is he now? Just putting that out. The defense held down Peyton. Joseph Adai should have won a Super Bowl MVP. I agree. Um, I wanted the Panthers to win Super Bowl 50. I wanted that for Charles Tillman and Greg Olsen, exactly. I think Charles Tillman should have been Hall of Famer given the fact that everyone does peanut punch. I think that he will, mainly because, he's an integral part of those legendary Bears defenses. Um, Obviously, he's probably going to be, if Charles Tillman is probably in his 40s, so it'll probably be probably another 6 years before Charles Tillman is in the consideration, and then another 2 years after that before he gets inducted. So I would probably say the next 8 years Charles Tillman becomes a Hall of Famer. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't happen. I mean, you think about it, consistently talks about Peanut Punch. A lot of people who vote for that kind of stuff thinks about that. We'll be getting to where Bears, hopefully not, but let's just say that it continues to get bad for the Bears. I'm not trying to wish down on anybody. But then they'll consistently talk about the early 2000 Bears, and then obviously they'll talk about Brian Urlacher. And you'll talk about how Brian Urlacher is already Hall of Fame, but you won't be. Then you'll talk about well, why isn't Peanut Tillman not a Hall of Famer? It's only unfortunately you just didn't get a lot of the accolades that a lot of other cornerbacks got. Tillman mossed Randy Moss in the end zone to win the game. Yeah. And then, like I said, Greg Olsen. Honestly, that's one of the craziest things that we traded a third-round pick and we got Greg Olsen. A third-round pick for Greg Olsen. He has 44 forced fumbles and 37 interceptions. That's what I'm saying. His numbers make sense. But if I look at Charles Tillman, what unfortunately you also see, and I'm trying to preface this because I believe I'm right on this, is show me, thank you. Yeah. So, and like I said, it should not be the end all be all, but for some people they will overlook because, oh, well, he's only a 2-time Pro Bowler and a 1-time All Pro. That's what I'm saying that makes it so dumb. But I do know that some people will legitimately look at that and be like, the accolades don't really matter. Accolades aren't really showing that he should be Hall of Fame. They're like, no, play style, yes. He also played in the same era as a lot of the other shutdown cornerbacks that are already Hall of Famers. So, I say this so respectful, but how does one see the Panthers product on the field, see the front office moves, and have so much faith in the team? I have so much faith in the fact that we are in a sucky division, are investing in our defense. That was the worst in the league, and we still came out with 5 wins when we could have had 2 more if we actually don't fumble in the first Bucks game. And if he's able to catch, Leggett can catch that deep ball of the Eagles. So that's 2 potential wins that could make it a 7-win season. So that's the reason why. Because we had literally the worst defense in league history. We invested on the defensive side of the ball. So increasing by 3 games and a easier schedule than last year, in a bad division where we normally will either split games. So that's why. It's not delusional, because there are some delusional fans that go up to 10, 11, even some people say 12, which is wild to say. But 8 is a high bar, but 7 is the actual expectation. 8 is what I'm hopeful for. But 7 is the actual expectation where I'm like, okay, we're on the right path. In his rookie year, he mossed. Yep. That really pissed me off, that trade, because that was totally a coach who did that. I was so mad at Lovie Smith for allowing his offense coordinator to do that. because tight ends don't catch the ball in my scheme. Yeah, when you have a talent that you draft in the first round, maybe try to find a way you give him the ball. Of course, it's kind of hypocritical because of how I acted last year, talking so much smack about that defense. But my point still stands. Yeah, like I said, I was still concerned by the linebacker play, and it has been confirmed that the linebacker play is absolutely abhorrent. So that is what I'm looking for in the offseason. But I am really glad that J.C. Horn has stayed healthy because that's been a huge problem over the years. Um, I like the addition of Trevor Merring because our tackling in the secondary was trash, and it's gotten at least a little bit better. Um, Michael Jackson has actually done pretty well as a cornerback too. Charles Smith Wade is in here his second year as a nickel, and so you're kind of hoping that he can continue to do a little bit better. Um, it's a very young wide receiver core that if they can kind of get their crap together, then it can be like one of the best young ones, but it's more likely not going to happen that way. And yeah, so I guess like it's a lot more optimism, but it's like understandable optimism because you just don't know. Even though he was the best receiver for the Bears the year they lost to the Packers on the NFC title game, you got drafted really well this year, guys. I wanted the Panthers got even UDFA. Which one? Which one a UDFA? Like Ryan Fitzgerald? I'm really glad we got for Ryan Fitzgerald. Um, no, not you having faith in your team. I'm talking about the fans. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. The fans you said that thought y'all should be a playoff team, those fans. Well, every single year, there are Panthers fans that think we can go 12-5. Now, do I know if they're being serious? I hope they're not. But there's fans for every single team that always thinks they're going to do better than they actually are. Um, but that's what I don't understand is like until the team shows you they're a playoff caliber team, don't say you're going to the playoffs. Like the Lions before that 9-8 season, you can't legitimately say that the Lions are going to be a playoff team. But after the 9-8 season, where they almost made the playoffs, yeah, then you have some expectations like, oh, well, maybe we can make the playoffs. And then they had a magical year the following year. But no, there are delusional fans in every single fan base. But some of the delusion makes me upset because it's like you have been hurt so much by this team that you are holding on to anything. Speaking about Steve Wilkes, I'm hopefully they will bench Braxton and start Theo. Braxton allowing the most pressure in the league for left tackles after 2 weeks. Yeah. I guess it was Fitzgerald. That's what I thought. Like Ryan Fitzgerald was a pretty good kicker last year. So far, he's been pretty good for us. So far, I mean, like I said, we haven't been asking him to do too much, but yeah. That's every fan with teams with losing in recent years. Fans who teams make the playoffs a lot, they're more smug than arrogant. That's fair. Because it's also like when you've had so much success, you can never take any of the good. It's either you dominate or like we barely beat this team. We gotta suck, and it's like, well, maybe you just had a bad game. Like it's a very different like being an Auburn fan compared to being an Alabama fan. Auburn fan at this point in time will celebrate beating um, Texas A&M at Texas A&M because we've had trouble there. But Alabama beating Texas A&M and Texas A&M be like, that's just another game for us, that kind of thing. So obviously it'd be like, okay. Not trying to dog on Alabama fans, but it's true. Um, I mean, heck, I still can't get over the fact that one of my Alabama fan friends, we were watching the Alabama versus Tennessee game about 4 years ago, and they were leading by 14 in the fourth quarter, with the game pretty much out of hand, and he was upset because they were not winning by more. And he was not satisfied until they were leading by 28 in the fourth. And I was like, you have problems. You so used to dominating this team that because you're not dominating them by where you can leave at halftime, that you are so delusional, so delusional. Anyways, um, great stream, Ryan. Hope you streamed the Panthers game and we can smack talk through it. I gotta sleep and I gotta hope we all have fantastic tomorrow. I hope so too. I'm probably gonna stream it, but I'll try. I might have to go through Streamies, unfortunately. That's the only way I think I will be able to get the game, which is gonna suck. But hopefully I can get the game. But yeah, I gotta go to bed too. Like I said, I got class tomorrow, so I'll see you on the next one. Like I said, should be hopefully the Oklahoma Auburn game.